Well, good brother, we are here for the mic check. Just ready to kick things off, kind of get us warmed up here, especially as we begin on this new journey with the new software. As y'all see, how you doing? I see the vibes in the back are immaculate.
Yeah, we had I'm here. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the mic check. I'm your boy Reggie, one half the dynamic duo known as the Splashcast.
I am the other part of that as Norwood. Blessed and
I
highly
have
favored.
I am in what you call potty training 101. It is kicking my ass. But we had success today. Number 2 was done by your niece, our executive producer, but it was an hour worth of fighting and struggle in every sense of the word and strain and all of those things. But
Congratulations,
I'm here.
man.
I'm happy. I'm happy she did it.
I'm sure. I assume that's less work for you in the foreseeable future. And once again, our executive producer moving on up in the world. Speaking of people's children wilding out, let's get right into it with your boy. What's his name here? Mitch Voigt. And wilding out supremely. Look in my eyes and tell me you tell. We're going to play this again. Your boy Mitch Voigt hits a triple and decides to snort a line. Yeah, I'm going to play it one more time for the people who just now seeing it. The man hit for a triple, and his celebration was to snort a line. One of the wildest sports celebrations I've ever seen.
To put it in context, he hit a triple, and Michigan was playing USC, and when he slid head first into third and was safe, and as he's getting up, he acts like he's snorting a line of cocaine. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the white powder. He acted like he did that and got up and was excited, and apparently that got the team going, and they ended up, I think, winning in a shutout over USC. This is one of the most creative.
Problematic. The answer is problematic. Number one, it's a drug test. It's a media drug test right afterwards. NCAA, you got a drug test.
No.
Your parents embarrassed. Excuse me. What did you do at the game? He did issue an apology, and it goes a little like this. I would like to apologize for my actions on third base yesterday. I made an immature decision in the heat of the moment. Not in the heat of the moment. You plan this out. The gesture I made does not reflect my character, the household I was raised in. Mama cut that ass. Or the block M that I represent any type of way. I take full responsibility for what I did. I'm truly sorry for those I've negatively impacted doing this. And that's the only thing.
I think NIL said, hey, what the hell? Like, I think that's what it was. I think he come from for him to do this and be so comfortable. He come from a family where they said, hey, we're going to let you drink beer at 15. Because as long as you do it in our house, I know that you're not doing it anywhere else, and I can watch you. That's where that comes from.
I am not sure if I'm that brave, but it was surely foolish to say the least. This is the thing for me, though. This is not even a good team. They're like 11-8. They 3-3 in the Big Ten. Now, he is the Big Ten Player of the Week, but talking about rating on your own parade.
But the reason I said this ain't a drug test, because there was a picture probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't know what he was on, but he was like sweating really, really hard, and he kept wiping his brow. He kept, you know how like cocaine's got the. He kept doing that over and over again, over and over again. And everybody was like, "Oh, he on something. He on something."
It was in Spaceships on Bankhead. You already know what that is.
And if that wasn't a drug test, bro, don't come talk to me.
If you snort a line on the third base, yes, come with me. Hey, you're asking for the piss test at that point. and they're going to be more than happy to give it to you, big dog. You're gonna have it. You're not getting out of there without it.
No matter.
Bit lighter of
Legend.
news here. We're going to talk about the Black legend himself, Booker T, being ranked as the greatest wrestler of all time by BET.com. I don't know of anybody who deserves it more. Shout out to the Harlem Heat. Shout out to Booker T. And shout out to him hitting folks with the axe kick. Black.
No shade. No shade. No shade. But it's the greatest black wrestler of all time.
Yes, that's what I said. Greatest black wrestler of all time.
You said greatest wrestler of all time.
Well, we the best, so.
Shout out to Booker T. Shout out to The Rock for stealing all of his moves. Stealing all of his swag. Shout out to
everything.
Shout out to everybody biting off Booker T, dog. Pause if necessary. I do agree that he's probably the greatest black wrestler. There's a lot up there. You had the Nation of Domination. You had
D'Lo Brown. It's been some great, and The Rock.
Yeah.
Boy, Reggie does not believe that The Rock celebrates anything that really matters. Clearly,
I never see The Rock be like, "Oh, let's go, black people." He be like, "Hey." I don't want to say the name wrong. So the people, the Hawaiian people, God, I can't think of their name.
They're Samoan. They're all Samoan. They're
Samoans. I could not think of that. The Samoan. He celebrates them. His dad is black though, I believe, right?
Yeah, they're both. He's both, and I think that they both. But that's a different conversation for a different day. At the end of the day, I think that we count The Rock as black, or at least
yeah. You got to. He's one.
We don't have enough, and I mean, I always say, "What you look like?" You walk up on somebody, I'm like, "This large black man."
No.
Also, quick baseball hitter here. Spencer Strider pitched today, 6 strikeouts.
You see it, celebration.
Just it feels good to have one team that knows how to act. I'm thrilled about it. I'm blessed. We're gonna clap it up for Strider doing well. Let's go Braves. Everybody get healthy.
Yeah,
Wrap
man.
everybody in bubble wrap. That's it, really.
Shout out to Spencer Strider. Started today, 6 up, 6 down. Played really, really well. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, he had what thought was ligament damage, but it turned out to be a chip bone in his elbow. So they had surgery to remove the chip bone and allow his elbow to heal, and they just held him out for the rest of the year. He's back. He looks strong. I think Acuna comes back in May. Is projected now to come back in May.
6 weeks. Take your time, bro. Take your time. Take your time. We ain't got nowhere to be but a championship. That's the only place we look to be.
At least ramping up. So, those two were our those two are our linchpin to our entire offense and defense when it comes to pitching and hitting. So if they can be healthy, man, that makes us a title contender because Spencer Strider is for real. He at least he settles down the lineup for sure. And
Spencer Strider, Michael Harris, Ozzie Albies, and Ronald Acuna. You really knocking it out of the park. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to those guys. Excited for that. And other exciting news here. Got something good here. Got what we will call a praise report. That is Lonzo Ball. I mean, not Lonzo. That's LeVar Ball doing the bank head bounce. We did report that he lost his left lower ankle. I guess this is about 3 weeks ago. He's always had a smile on his face since, and see him working out, and doing well. That's all we could ask for. We're happy for him and his family.
Yeah. He for him to get it was so abrupt. And they said first
it was fake.
It was just his foot. And I didn't even think like how far up the leg they had to take it. So when you think about just his foot, you think about basically just ankle and that's it. But they actually went up and took part of his calf too. So, part of his leg, I'm sorry, and went up to basically the lower calf. So I'm not gonna speculate what it was. I think Dion went through something similar. They were talking about they took his toes, and they were talking about taking his feet because he had blood circulation problems. But shout out to LeVar for handling this with grace, and handling this with a smile on his face. We never would have known, and he's very, very public. He's everywhere. So
and taking it like a real G every time you see him, big smile on his face. And I'm sure that comforts his family a lot as well. Now, I will say we're going to end the mic check on a rather somber note here. We had two kind of big losses here. First one is Junior Bridgman. I don't know why they won't add. Oh, there it is. Well, Junior Bridgman, former NBA six-man, also known for being one of the first, if not the first, like NBA sports billionaire, and really did it from just investing in wise business decisions. We lost him last week, unfortunately. And then also RIP to the big O, Oliver Miller, passed away last week as well. Thoughts and prayers to their family and in all supporters.
Yeah, man, Junior Bridgman is revered in the athlete business world. LeBron has spoken on him, but there's one person, Shaq has spoken on him, but there's one person, he kind of flew up under the radar. But there's one person that has credited him with kind of, I don't want to say mentorship, but words of advice, and that was Jamal Mashburn, who owns like 400.
Who's also infinitely rich from doing the same type of thing.
From investments and businesses. And he kind of followed, there's about 3 people in the 70s who that played in the 70s and kind of put the investment blueprint out there. And if you just look at what they did, it worked through franchising, investing in restaurants and sort of thing. And Big O, man, y'all don't realize how dominant he was in college and early in his career. He was the original like tractor trailer type player,
right?
With a touch around the basketball, around the rim in the paint. Everybody kind of looks at that when at the end of his career, he was at Toronto and he was like 400 pounds. But if you have a chance, go back and look at his old YouTube. He was nice. Sad to see him go. If he was in any pain, I'm glad that the pain is over. And we wish you and your family nothing but condolences and love and T's and P's. T's and P's.
And also, I wish y'all would do a better job of giving people grace. Like, the man's passed away. That's not really the time to harp on his health and his size and those things. I just wish you guys had better parents and had a little bit more class. With that being said, me and Reggie gonna step out here. Mic check is now over. When we come back, we'll hit right into HBCU. For y'all who don't know, this is the time where you put the beverage into the refrigerator, let it get good and cold, or the freezer. Just don't forget it in the freezer because it will burst. You have to clean the freezer. And then we will come back after HBCU sober, and then we will start the party there. What you got for us, big dog?
Basketball to talk about. Say what again?
I said, what you got for us?
Man, I went to the store today. I really I haven't had like any like drinks for real. I didn't want to drink. Last time I had hard liquor and I kind of got off the rails. We looked up and it was a 4-hour pod. So I just got some light, little light malt beverage, you know what I mean? Little light beer. I'm excited. Got a lot of basketball to talk about. A whole lot of basketball. A lot of football, a lot of movement in free agency.
And a lot of not movement in free agency, if you really want to know the truth, because your boys, once again, holding everybody hostage right on time, per the usual.
It is what it is. But we'll be right back. Appreciate it. Remember, like, follow, subscribe. I have music up, or were you going to play music?
Got it.
Me?
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the Splashcast. I am Norwood.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 182 of the Splashcast. I am your co-host, Reggie. We appreciate y'all for tuning in on Monday Night Raw. Let's get into it.
Wow, brought it back.
Yeah, man.
Well, come on in.
So come on in, have a seat, turn up. Y'all know what it is when it comes to Monday Night Raw. We do our HBCU news around the culture, followed by our either basketball or football, whatever's in season. This time is going to be our hoop segment. Then we got some football talk to round out the episode. Football is always going to be relevant, apparently. They're going to make sure.
Until it ain't.
With that being said, remember to always like, follow, subscribe, and share. How you doing, brother?
I am feeling good, feeling great, blessed, highly favored with a little bit of water to hydrate before things may go off the rails here. Ready to talk some HBCU basketball. It's been a good week.
Man, it has, well, maybe.
Not for you, for me, for others.
Turning time, March Madness. We're trying to be excited. I'm trying to be excited. I'm normally always excited for the blacks. Y'all know how that goes. Alabama State win the SWAC championship, defeating their former coach. Jackson State University, coached by Mo Williams, who left Alabama State high and dry with no inkling that he was going to leave, and went to Jackson State. So for Alabama State to defeat them in the championship game,
funny story. Yeah, this is a surprise. I think they beat y'all the round before, and I'm talking about Southern University when I referred to y'all in this case.
Grambling.
Right. Grambling did it. Right.
Hurt. I would rather lose to Alabama State than Grambling.
Congratulations on Alabama State. Next up, we have here the Southern women beating Jackson State to win the SWAC women's basketball tournament. They won 51-47. Congratulations on a fantastic win for them. Next up, MEAC.
You gotta let me say something now. They won. Don't just give me.
I feel like you had the week where y'all both your teams won their little regular season conference. It must be nice to have two teams too, but it cost you 2 degrees. So what am I gonna say?
Hey man, Southern women
did
what they were supposed to do. They were number one in the end, from the beginning of the season all the way to the end of the season. They were the number one team. Southern men was the number one team from the beginning of the season to the quarterfinals, and then they lost. And I mean, they lost. They had a 20-point lead and lost, like the Hawks. They look like the Hawks. So shout out to the Southern women. It was fantastic watching them win. Very passionate crowd. I love that they have it here in Atlanta. It's definitely going to facilitate some more growth in the SWAC, and everybody's trying to get to Atlanta. The SWAC and the MEAC are trying to get. This is where you want to get an HBCU, somewhere in this state. So you'll see more.
Next up, Norfolk State University men and women punched their tickets by winning the MEAC.
Congratulations.
It is rough to watch literally your city rival just run it up on both ends, women's and men's. But congratulations where congratulations due. They beat us.
Rough. That's what I have to get for leaving. You shouldn't have left. MEAC, and you should have had stuff together so people didn't have to leave.
Right.
Now, come on back now. I'm gonna say it. You don't have to. You didn't hate me.
I am 100% okay with spinning the block with the MEAC. If you get your things together, and once again, me and Reggie to update y'all as much as we can. MEAC, just make it easier for us. Now, this is surely an interesting game because Norfolk State is partnering up to play against my Florida Gators on the 21st.
Men or women?
Men. I think my game. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Number one, Gators are my squad. Number two, I think they might be the best team in the tournament. They definitely gonna make a run at it.
No, they what, number 2?
Hey. My boys is good. My boys are very good. My boys are very good.
If Duke can play how they supposed to,
We'll
Cooper
see.
Flag is
Hey,
real. No,
we'll see. We will see. We're gonna get a chance to see for sure. Now, one thing that I did want to show, if I can find it here.
set.
You said what?
You got to go for the blacks. If Norfolk State starts off and it's a game all the way to the second half, you can't not go for the blacks. But you cannot go for Florida.
And that's what I was having a discussion earlier this week where I was like, man, I don't know. I can't.
The trophy bag is like a girlfriend that you miss.
I can't go against them, but it's my boy. So I'm going for the Gators, yo. We typically go for the blacks. Every now and then you gotta go for your squad.
The right thing to say would be a win-win situation. It's a no-lose situation for me. Either
no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Because if the Gators lose, it's a big loss. It's a big ass loss. I'm talking about the biggest. Y'all better win. The football team ain't footballing. The Falcons is the Falcons. The Hawks. Oh my God, when we get to the Hawks. And the Braves season just started. No, I need Florida. I need this. You got a couple national championships on the football. Right now, I have nothing to talk about in my real life with my real friends. Now, this is the NSU head coach giving a speech after they won.
But now we got the trophy back. It's like a girlfriend that you miss, right? She was hanging with the DC dudes for 2 years. She was hanging with them for 2 years. But now she want to come back to daddy. She's back home, man. She's back home.
Tell me that you hurt without telling me that you hurt.
You are hurt.
Always feel some type of way by DC. Norfolk always feels some type of way by DC.
And they get the little, the little city treatment. It is Howard. Nobody really is in love with Howard either.
I can see how do you talk about their little brother you.
And Norfolk State gets the littlest of brother because we kind of do the same thing, fortunately and unfortunately.
Next week I'm gonna have an Elgato ready because that's a shot, boy. Bang, bang, bang.
Yes,
I had an Elgato loaded. Next week
ready.
Is right here. I didn't load it up.
Ready. Also, we want to give a shout out here to Texas Southern. Go here with it. Texas Southern, their debate team. It was no way I wasn't going to put this. Me and Reggie come here and debate every Monday about every sport imaginable. It's no way that we weren't going to, discuss TSU winning this in South Korea, a world championship. Congratulations to Texas Southern winning the 36th international debate.
35th international debate.
My eyes is failing me.
Yeah, man. You've said it. You hit on all the notes, man. Look, man, black businesses hire these black folks. These are your lobbyists. These are your lawyers. These are your public speakers.
These are your ass.
These are your representatives.
How about that?
These are your representatives. They represent your companies. Imagine somebody out here answering questions on behalf of your company. They can do it. Man, this is great. Shout out to Texas Southern. Keep doing it. And shout out to the SWAC, man. SWAC doing some great things. Learn from each other.
Absolutely. One that we have brought up here before. Eddie George. If my computer wants to go operate, and it don't, that's fine. Eddie George, we've discussed at length. His, for whatever reason, the media is not wanting to work, which is fine. But essentially, they're discussing the fact that what he was getting paid at Tennessee State was around $400,000. Now, with the job at Bowling Green, he's getting paid $600,000, an extra third in salary. That's impossible. I ain't gonna say that's impossible because who knows what he made in the NFL. But either way, they're gonna pay you that much more, and the other issues that they've kind of run into, it only makes sense. I
don't think he is making more. He's making more. He's making $200,000 more. Basically, adding 50% more, adding 50% of your salary. So yeah, it's money, but I don't necessarily think it was a money thing here. I mean, it played some factor, but I
think
think it was
also just there are other issues kind of.
well, I think it was exposure too. Bowling Green is gonna have what they the MAC or the WAC, whatever they are. The MAC is Tuesday, Bowling Green, the WAC is Wednesday. For like 2 months out of the year, the last 2 months of the year, they get a game on. They basically own late night ESPN on Wednesday and Friday. So, I mean, I think it's an exposure thing. I think the alumni base has a little bit more money. It's about resources. But again, he didn't leave the cover bare. He did a lot of good things for Tennessee State, so we can do nothing but congratulate you on it. And $200,000, $600K a year. Yeah, man. With no expenses.
Your gross looking like your net now. And then we want to always support our alum Monique Davis. Louis, what was this? Not Louisville. I've completely lost. Superstar Louisville in the Louisville Slugger Museum. I cannot remember what she played into. Say Little League World Series. Boy, that was whooping my ass. Little League World Series icon, champion. If I remember correctly, she was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. We love her because she is also a Hampton alum, but she got a sculpture in Louisville. Congratulations.
First girl to throw a shutout in the Little League World Series. Just 13 years old. She was a phenom. She was playing for the Anderson Monarchs. Yeah, that's who it was. So shout out there, 2014. Hey man, big impact in a little bit of time. It's awesome.
Yes, congratulations. And yeah, let's post this everywhere, Hampton. With that said, I think we've covered everything in HBCU. Yes, all the rest of them other statues that people may or may not be thrilled about. You could definitely add her to the lexicon, and I think that everybody would be much cooler. I ain't gonna do my boy Harvey wrong like that. Shout out to my boy. But yeah, this is one that can definitely be added, and that was a shot from Reggie. Pew pew. All right. So up next, we got some good basketball talk. Everybody go get your beverage. Reggie and I are going to step away briefly, and when we come back, we will be doing keep your water because we are of age, but we coming back with beverages.
I don't know what I'm gonna do first. Should I do a beer? Or should I do a little mog?
What they say: beer before liquor, never been sicker. Liquor before beer, you in the clear. Reggie does not subscribe to that.
That don't matter to me at all. We'll be right back.
celebrate tonight? How do you?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it is time to talk basketball, and beverages, some say. What you thinking, my friend?
Got me a little, you know what I mean, a little marg.
Look, nah, me, huh? Look, nah, me.
I mean, got a lot of stuff to talk about in basketball today, man. I know you're gonna start out with your boys. I think they did pretty well this year.
Yeah, and by pretty well, we did immaculate. Nope, that is not what I wanted, and I picked the wrong one. But what Reggie is talking about is my Florida Gators are, in fact, SEC champions. I don't have a lot of things that really make me happy, and the reason is because the majority of my teams have been terrible. And the one team that I do have is the Florida Gators and the Atlanta Braves. Shout out to my boys winning a massive game here. And I want to say the SEC, and we're going to talk about it here later, is the most competitive basketball conference in the world at this point. I didn't foresee that.
In the world?
I mean, college, yes. Excuse me. I mean, we're not talking NBA here, but yeah.
I mean, you got to say.
Hey, man, I'm putting sauce on it. That's all I got, Reggie. Here come Reggie with his cumulus cloud. Gonna rain on my parade, bro. That's all I got, fam. It's literally all I have.
Just be truthful. That's all. Just be truthful.
No, I don't got to do nothing. I got to enjoy.
Congratulations to the Gators, man. I think they got a number 1 seed, a number 2 overall seed in the tournament, number 1 seed in their region. I don't think Georgia is in their bracket. I think Georgia got a number 9 seed, which is the best they've had since Jonas Jennings.
Y'all,
James Jones.
There needs to be a documentary done on Georgia basketball just dissolving post Jermaine Jones. Shout out to the big homie.
And they've had good players. That's crazy.
They had Anthony Edwards. What are you talking about? Good players. Some of the best ever.
Yep. But no shade. Shout out to Florida, man. Another team that was good end to end. I think they were the number 1 and number 2 team in the SEC all year long. Of course, there was Alabama, Florida, and Tennessee were all there. And Auburn. And Auburn. So well earned. We'll see what y'all do in the tournament. I think this year's tournament is ripe for a lot of upsets.
Right. With that being said, we go right here to where the SEC has set a NCAA record, sending 14 teams to March Madness. That is unbelievable. I don't really know how this happened. ACC, you are on the clock. You're on the clockiest of clocks. I don't know what y'all did to just give up everything. Y'all already not good in football. Now you're going to let the SEC run away with basketball. There has to be a point where you ask, what are you guys here really good for at this point? The ACC can't be good at basketball.
Well, so yes, it's a slap in the face to the ACC, but also the SEC is its own entity. When the powers that be decided the SEC wants to be good at something, they have enough money to generate to be good at something, and then you allow the NIL so they can just go get people. So, like, think about the ACC versus the SEC. The ACC is what? Clemson, North Carolina schools, Maryland. No, that's Big Ten. I'm sorry. North Carolina State, Florida State, Miami. All of those schools are in states that have professional teams where money can be allocated to. SEC, Oklahoma ain't got no professional football team. Well, I guess they got Oklahoma City Thunder, but I mean, like, Ole Miss, Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri, Like they ain't got no football team to like allocate money to, so they want to be good in the SEC. If they can be good in the SEC, that's being good for them. So that's where all the money goes. SEC gonna always have money, so y'all can get over it. This is gonna be if they decide to want to be good at basketball from now on. This is gonna be a regular. This is gonna be a norm.
But imagine if you just basically superseded the SEC out of football. People would be like, "Hey, fam, what's going on here?" Basketball has been their thing, especially since the dissolution of the Big East. It's ACC basketball is the SEC of basketball. Yes, I think I said that right.
The SEC of basketball?
Yes.
The ACC. Yeah. Okay. I get. I misunderstood. Yeah. ACC is the SEC of basketball. Yeah. It has been, and then the Big Ten. The Big Ten came up, and you had Kansas won a couple. I think Indiana made it, and then they got Maryland. The ACC basketball losing Maryland was a big hit. Now that we're talking about it, that was a big hit. Maryland won national championship. Maryland has been good. Maryland's rivalries. ACC had basketball rivalries. That Duke, Maryland, Duke, North Carolina, Maryland, North Carolina, Clemson, sometimes Virginia. That little 5-16 was you had to play back in the day every week. And that's what it is in the SEC now. Every week you can get knocked off by a nationally ranked team. That's how the ACC used to be. Y'all better figure it out. Y'all better figure it out.
Speaking of people winning and winning well, we're going to go right to
How do you celebrate tonight?
I'm going to drink a quart of Jameson's.
St. Patty's Day.
Good for you.
A quart, huh? Coach, how do you celebrate?
That is Rick Pitino, head coach of St. John's, saying that after their wonderful season, the way that he is going to celebrate in a way that I've celebrated many times, to try to drink a quart of Jameson.
Shout out to Rick Pitino, man. Everywhere he's gone, first of all, we talked about it last week, record 15 that I think he won a conference title with and taken to the NCAA tournament. Everywhere he goes, he's a winner. He's turned every program around that he's gone to. They were a loser before they got there, or they were losing before he got there, and he turned them into winners, and most of the time national championship champions, except for like Iona. But he turned Iona into a winner. Iona, y'all don't even know what that is. And so, like, shout out to Rick, man. Talk your shit.
And he has 3 players that are still playing right now. And he was like, the best I could do is offer him like $1,500, and none of them said that they were coming back. You do what you can, what you got. Congratulations. Drink that quart of Jameson and tell me how you feel on the very next day. Other people doing well. Let's shout out the boy here. We're going to wait for it to come up. And until it does, maybe it is. But Yaxel Littenberg, I still have. He's gone for 30, 28, 5 steals and 4 blocks playing for the University of Alabama, Birmingham against ECU. I don't know what everybody else was doing. If you let him score 30 points, get 20 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, and 4 blocks.
Everybody else, what do you mean? What everybody? They can't do nothing. When somebody has a stat line like this is a Wilt Chamberlain stat line. Like this one of them stat lines that's really, that's a stat
foul. Line. Somebody got their ass cooked. No, you're not going to do this to me. Coach, I'm going to use all 5 fouls. And I'm going to try to injure this kid.
Bro, if I shoulder you out the way, you can't foul me. Like sometimes it's just nothing you can do. 30, 20, and 8 and 5 steals and 4 blocks. First of all, ECU, somebody was scared. Because you're right, you should have fouled him. That means you were scared to foul him. And he was out there dominating. Also, NIL, hey, that deserves a bonus of some sort. There needs to be some bonus structure. You need to pay him something.
It's a bonus. That's a bonus.
20 and 8. In North Carolina, y'all should call him. Y'all should call him. Send him some money. Send him some money.
Big employee. Also, one of the people who consistently does well. Shout out to Flajay Johnson, women's basketball player for LSU. She's sending $5 million to help families who need housing. She has continuously done the right thing And $5 million is a ton of money from a college athlete to do this type of thing. She is really setting the precedent.
Number one NIL. She's the number one female basketball player in terms of number one ranked in terms of NIL worth. I think Juju's number 2. I'm not gonna say how much because I don't want y'all to try to count her pockets or nothing.
No, I thought it was a gymnastics girl. We'll go back and look that up though. But
no, basketball.
Okay.
So, plus, like, she can actually rap. Like, she can rap for real.
Main feature, what you talking about?
She getting paid to rap. Like, so she's got money flowing, and then she's still nice, and she's still cooking y'all on the court, and she's still gonna go to the WNBA or Unrivaled.
Relationship flourishing, everything seems to be working out well for her, and we love that. Congratulations, and just doing what you don't have to do. That's always appreciated. Another women's college basketball phenom, now WNBA phenom, now Unrivaled phenom. Angel Reese wins the Defensive Player of the Year for the Unrivaled League. Congratulations again. And this is not just like the WNBA is one thing, but Unrivaled is really due to the few amount of spots. It is literally the best of the best. To dominate the best of the best defensively, that really puts you in iconic status, especially your first year professional.
I'm not surprised. I mean, she's a monster. She's a monster on defense. She's like, no shade, not in terms of like looks or anything, but she's like Dennis Rodman. Like right now, she's Dennis Rodman. Now,
physical, strong, tough, because she ain't no chump. Like
and gonna defend you and get all the rebounds, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I'm gonna say this: y'all messed up. Y'all should have left that girl alone. Or that woman, I'm sorry, depending on whatever, no shade, no slight, no disrespect. But y'all should have left her alone because y'all done messed around and talked about her shot and bricks and missing all them layups so much and didn't realize that she was gonna go get better anyway, even though we tried to tell y'all. And now she working with Lisa Leslie, and I'm gonna let y'all know she hit like 2 3-pointers in a row. I said, y'all in trouble. Y'all let around and let her get a jump shot. Y'all call it Christmas. It's over. All y'all need to retire. All y'all old folks, I ain't call no names, but all y'all old women out there need to go ahead and hang it on up. Go ahead and broadcasting, investing, raise a family because she gonna cook y'all. It's over.
And it was only a matter of time. The girl was a rookie. She's going to get better and better. And y'all try to, shoot early. Y'all think that that's the answer, and it surely ain't because her game is going to evolve, and she's one of the few people who really invest in, hey, I'm going to make, she listens to what people say. And y'all want to make all these jokes about, I miss. Well, she got paid for McDonald's, number one. Shout out to that. And number two, yeah, she's going to be on y'all ass. This is going to be a problem for y'all for the foreseeable future. Congratulations, Angel Reese, as a WNBA fanatic, as a women's college basketball fanatic. We're going to continue to support. And this is something she alluded to as well.
Okay. I wanted to talk about that last because
we're going to get there. We're going to get this. Recently in an interview, she kind of talked about the possibility of a WNBA lockout. She alluded to it. Under no uncertain circumstances, she basically said either get it right or we're not going to play. Me and Reggie have kind of talked about it briefly here on the pod. I don't think that a lockout for any amount of time is good for either party in this case. I hope that everybody does their part to get it right. I think that they deserve more, sure, but also make hay while the sun shines, as the old people say. Y'all are up right now, as we're going to talk about in this next little piece, but a lockout would be tragic as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So I don't think a lockout is the smartest thing to do.
Timeout.
I think you would lose all the momentum that you've gained over the last 2 years, especially with this rookie class going up, because you have no real bargaining chip right now. You guys had your best year in terms of turnout, ticket sales, and all that, and still lost. Still was in the red.
Don't cut your nose off to
So
spite your face right now.
y'all gotta. I'm not going. Everybody should get their money, but you're asking a business entity to invest into something that does not have a return, and then you're trying to take the position of demanding that they invest in something that has not zero return, a negative return, a large negative return. So I think from a business standpoint, I think you guys need to go back to the drawing board. I think there's a negotiation piece to it. And I think that there could be some more marketing added to it, but you don't have the leverage to do this, in my opinion. Now, I don't know. There may be some back channel information that we don't know, which I'm sure there is. But from
Always
just looking
is.
at the numbers, I wouldn't recommend this. But also, I'm not a woman, and I'm not in the WNBA, and I'm not a professional athlete. So
Right. And that is the other part about it. On both sides, the juice got to be worth the squeeze. And I'm not going to practice every day if I'm not getting paid a commensurate amount for the effort that I put in every day. I wouldn't ask Reggie to do that at his job. I'm definitely not going to do that at the place that employs me now. Shout out to you guys for doing the needful. But at any point where you weren't and it ain't worth it, then what am I doing? Especially if you can be in the Unrivaled League and they're the highest paid women's league in the world. With that being said, we can actually talk about a little bit more success here. As we told y'all a couple weeks ago, the Atlanta Dream have already sold out the upcoming season. And with that being said, they actually have their opener against the Indiana Fever, which, has Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. And they're considering moving to the State Farm Arena for the opener. I think that would be a fantastic job. I think that would be a fantastic idea. To kick off the season the right way. I'm glad we got that as our opener. That is an immediate sellout. Money in the bank is always good. I remember being a ticket salesperson, so I know what it's like to try to book groups and stuff. That's an easy day of work for you. Congratulations.
has the schedule been released yet?
Yep.
Who do we play as an opener?
This is the opener, the Indiana Fever.
The Indiana Fever. Yeah.
Correct.
So us playing the Indiana Fever, I was gonna say you have to have somebody that's going to make a draw. It was either them or Angel Reese. It's Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese. So to be the opener and to be chosen, let's be clear. When they're making the schedule, you are chosen to have those opening games. To be chosen to play Indiana, for good or bad, is great for the organization. With that being said, y'all make sure y'all go out and support. The Dream has made a lot of good moves this offseason.
Brittany Griner.
So we actually might be pretty good. So make sure y'all go support. Splashcast will be in there. Shout out to the homie Taylor, who works for the Atlanta Hawks and the Atlanta Dream, putting in the good work. We appreciate everything that you do. Shout out to the WNBA. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Now we get to I just started like this. That's going to be what this Hawks conversation is going to be like. We're going to start out in a good place though. Hawks beat the Hornets on the first game of our little trip last week. We won 123-110. The Hornets are just not really a good team right now. I was happy that we beat a team that's not at their best because we have and showed the consistent potential to play down to teams that we should be better than. It felt good to kind of get that win. I think in this month we've been 5-4-2. So it feels good to kind of play winning basketball. If I remember correctly, what did Reza Shea have? 8 points, 4 rebounds. Trey had 35 and 12 and 7 in this game. He played out of his mind. I think that we gave up a little bit too much to, the name of Daquan Jeffries. LaMelo, Mark Williams, and Malik Bridges kind of always play pretty well against us. And that really concludes the fun part of this. Next up, we played against the Clippers.
Still there?
Yep. We lost to the Clippers 128-98. And I'm going, yep, there it is right there, 128-98. This game to me was extremely frustrating because team-wise, I think we played pretty well to start the game. And then we really got to halftime. If you go back and you watch halftime, right at halftime, we missed a shot going into halftime, and Trey was butthurt. He was having a pretty rough first half, but we were still up. And then we play in his third quarter. This is probably the worst, I'm willing to say, worst quarter of the season. Worst quarter of probably the last few seasons. Third quarter was 35-8. We got destroyed. And it kind of pisses me off because last week we talked about this game. And I said, hey, man, we have two pretty evenly matched teams. And through the first half, it was an evenly matched game. We were actually up. And then Trey just kind of got lost in himself. And when he got lost in himself, we just kind of went to the tank. One thing that kind of frustrates me about Quinn is he won't bail on bad rotations. Sometimes you have to get out of there, and he continues to play them. And I'm like, bro, we're blowing our lead and blowing our opportunity to win when we have players who play well. What you got to say about this one? Or do you have anything to say about it? If you don't, I don't blame you.
Well, I ain't say nothing about Charlotte. I wanted to go back to Charlotte. Trey had a really good game against Charlotte. I don't know what Charlotte is doing in terms of. Well, I do know Brandon Miller was hurt. Brandon Miller coming back.
Been hurt for
they probably beat us. I'm not gonna lie to you because between Bridges and LaMelo had a little. He's like Trey. He's young Trey. He got into it with Terrence Mann, and he fell into the trap of going back and forth with Terrence Mann, and that kind of blew the game open and got us away from him. Unfortunately, Chris Dunn for the Clippers did the same thing to Trey that Terrence Mann did to LaMelo, and Chris Dunn, who I think he played for the Hawks, right? At one point,
briefly.
He's a former player. He took it personally to play against Trey, and he, for all intents and purposes, Trey is 6 of 18. He locked Trey up when he guarded him, and then they put Kawhi on him. So it was either Chris Dunn or Kawhi, and which was great because Trey couldn't facilitate. He only had 7 assists, but he was 6 of 18. Normally, if he's 6 of 18 or 5 for 21, he'll have like 15 assists, which is why his part of his maturation. Now, also, James Harden took playing against Dyson Daniels personally. He's on this tour of letting y'all know that I'm still him, and we need to make the playoffs. And this does not happen often because Dyson Daniels, we'll get to it, is probably going to be either the runner-up or the winner of the Defensive Player of the Year. But James Harden cooked him whole game. Cooked. He had the Defensive Player of the Year candidate frustrated on defense, and he just wasn't guarding. He didn't draw a lot of fouls. He just was whooping your ass.
and that's not really unrealistic. Let's be like, James Harden is one of the greatest offensive basketball players to ever touch the basketball. And Dyson Daniels is 21 years old, bro. I don't care who you are. James gonna put you in. He didn't put better than you in the blender. It's just life sometimes. But even with that, like Trey, Chris Dunn was fouling his ass off now. And if Trey would have just continued to try to facilitate instead of, if your shot not going, bro, you're still the best facilitator in the NBA. Just find a way to help other people get shots instead of committing to just.
Yeah, that's cool. To the second you finally they pick and roll. When you run pick and roll, they guarding you with Chris Dunn, who's giving you problems, and then Kawhi Leonard, like healthy Kawhi. Kawhi had 5 steals this game. Like, he was just in the way. Like, that's what thing about Kawhi Leonard. He's so his basketball frame is so big, and he's got such large hands and long arms and a wingspan. He's just always in the way. Like, he's strong. Like, we were playing. This is the disadvantage of Okongwu, and I don't want to stay here too long because we got a lot to talk about. This is the disadvantage of Okongwu. They were playing Kawhi at the 5. So playing Kawhi at the 5, who's strong enough to guard Okongwu. Okongwu still had a good game. I think he had 18 and 10. But at that point, like Zubac go out, they just took Zubac out because Zubac really couldn't do nothing.
Zubac was getting his ass cut. But this is the thing. It's frustrating. We didn't. The first half, we played very well. We played a good, balanced basketball. But this is the gift and the curse of Trey is if he's not feeling it, then you don't really have we don't really have a clear-cut leader. And Trey don't have the greatest leadership skills. So you could see, I watched it right at half. You could just tell like all of what everybody else had done did not matter. And I understand I played before. Sometimes you just getting your ass kicked. But when they pay you this much money, same thing I said about Cam Newton, bro, you got to put a smile on your face. You got to be the leader. You got to keep moving because the team was playing well, even if you're not.
I get that. I don't think you should put this all on Trey though. Because
no. It's on Quinn too. If you have a 35-8 quarter, it's coaching.
Even before, 35-8 is egregious. But that was coaching and shooting. But what I couldn't understand with this game, and I try not to do this because you're kind of doing this to DeAndre Hunter. And we're on the other side. We're on two different sides of that discussion. So you're always pointing out DeAndre Hunter's shortcomings. And I'm always pointing out George Yang's shortcomings. But here, Dan Quinn handicapped George Yang and he handicapped Muhammad Gay. Muhammad Gay, or Guy, however you want to say it, should be allowed to get more minutes. Muhammad Guy was 2 of 4, 1 of 1 from 3, and he was playing decent defense. He had a steal and a block, all in 11 minutes. And then he just didn't play him in the second half. I don't know if he was hurt, but he played the next game. They didn't play him in the second half. They put George Yang and Karis LeVert and Terrence Mann, and Yang was 0 of 5. And you just left him in there. And I was like, come on, dog.
So there are a couple things with Muhammad Gay. Number one, he has had some pretty serious back injuries. And I think that this was on a back-to-back. And he's observing Ramadan. So he's not eating during the day. So those two things together, I'm assuming are the reason that he didn't play. But 5 points in 11 minutes, and really five points in like 9 minutes, and then he got some minutes at the end of the game. That was unacceptable. Any of these rotations where you're gonna put Trey and George Niang in the game, you're gonna get killed. And then, I mean, do you have
against
anything else?
And Kawhi? Like, bro, Kawhi at what, 25?
We have to put the athletes on the floor or it ain't gonna work. Now that part, we're not getting loose balls. We're not doing, and we have guys who could do it. That's the thing about it. Is you can there is a combination, but you can't play all of the guys who don't play defense at the same time. And once we get through this next little piece, we're going to talk about Quinn and his future. You got anything else on the Clippers before we move to the Nets?
It was just coaching. Like Ty Lue whooped your ass, Quinn. Every time you put Yang in, he put in Derrick Jones Jr. and they just ran down the court and threw alley-oops because Yang could stick with it. And they just did that the whole second half. Okay, Yang's in, Derrick Jones Jr. or Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons didn't do nothing but run fast. And play.
And you have to know that if you're playing against a bigger, slower 4, that's when you can play George Niang. He ain't fast. His feet clearly cement blocks. He uses his body to kind of shield guys out of the way. But if he's playing against a guy who's athletic, that ain't gonna work, bro. He's just gonna move around you. And Quinn, that's where your rotations, and you have the flexibility with Barlow, Clint when he's available, Kongwu and Gay. Like you got enough guys that you're gonna have to play. And Niang, when you're playing against the right person, you got to be able to hide it. Like one of the things I was listening to is James Harden is one of the best at hiding and not being a problem on defense, even though he's not really a great defender. It's very difficult to expose him. He finds a way to. He knows how to get in the way, and he knows how not to get just whooped. And
you say that he had 2 steals and 2 blocks. Like he be averaging low key like a steal and a block every year, but it's all he's got the thing of he's terrible. Like, bro, he be in the way.
Steals, unless you're Dyson Daniels or one of those elite level steal guy, is kind of tricky because the guys who don't play defense and sit in passing lanes, i.e. Trae Young, typically have pretty decent steals, but you also know they're just not defending. And that's what James does. But James does a very good job of not getting, you can't pick on James. You're not finna just let James get repeatedly ISO'd over and over and over again, and him just get killed.
They got Kawhi and Nick Batum and Chris Dunn and Derek Jones and Ben.
But they
Simmons.
The thing about that is they don't have enough offense.
No, they don't. But defense wise, they can make it. We scored 8 points in a quarter, y'all. 8 points. We scored 35 points in the second quarter.
That in a nutshell lost the game. And that's the reason I mean,
they cooked us. That third quarter, it was like Clipper 3, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Ibak Subak, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. I was like, oh my God, bro.
But see, this is the reason that Trae gets people fired is people gonna look, man, he had a terrible game. What did he have? 17-7. That's a terrible game. Still a hell of a game as far as I'm concerned. Not looking at there was also 7 turnovers.
I don't. Again, with this team, this was a bad matchup for him. There's nothing you could do.
I'm not gonna say it was a bad matchup.
Chris Dunn, Kawhi Leonard, and Ben Simmons were his main 3 defenders. 6'5", 6'8", 6'10".
Ben Simmons is washed. He's serviceable now, but Ben Simmons don't do nothing to me this scary. Nothing. Chris Dunn
being in the way. That's how you beat Trae. You blitz him with a tall defender, 2 tall defenders.
We should have won this game. This is a game due to lack of leadership. And then this is where I got immensely frustrated. Hawks lose to the Brooklyn Nets 122-114. This is inexcusable. There is no I don't know what you're going to say. I assume we have the best 2 or 3 players on the floor. And we just play down to our competition, and they embarrass us.
Cam Johnson is probably the second best player on the court.
I mean, he looked like the first best player on the court. He looked like he deserved $40 million away. He was between him hitting 3-pointers, mid ranges, and 10 of 10 from the free throw line, and 7 assists.
This game didn't. Cam Johnson, I knew our 4s are Zachary Ricochet and Jordan Yang. That's our 4. Like an athletic 4, a shooting 4, a stretch 4.
Muhammad Gay. That's who should have been playing.
Cool. Add him in there too. That ain't nothing but multiplying by 1. You add them in there too. A good 4 is going to torch them, and Cam Johnson is a good 4. What I cannot be cool with is Keon Johnson with 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. That cannot happen. Who's Keon Johnson to you?
Nobody, baby. I thought it was Keon Ellis from Sacramento at first. At least I was like, well, he kind of has his moments.
That's why we lost, allowing Keon Johnson to have 22 points. Egregious. Matter of fact, that was my text, tweet, thread, and Instagram post. This is egregious.
Well, in this game, and this is the game that really got the Twitter streets kind of rolling about firing Quinn. You played Dominic Barlow, who played terribly. 16 minutes. -17, no points, 2 assists, 3 blocks. That's it. The rest of the time, he was getting cooked. And you put Barlow out there, who's not a positive defender, and you had him with Niang and Trae. That ain't ever gonna work. All you're gonna do is the other 2 dudes who trying to play defense is get them murdered. They're gonna run themselves. They're gonna run themselves into a tizzy because nobody else is stopping anything.
Well, Karis LeVert was hurt, so he didn't play this game. So you had to play. We
Well,
really
we got
only
beat
played-
back. I mean,
Veet, yeah, okay. Veet ain't cares, but I mean, either way, you can't let if you Veet cares or anybody. Keon Johnson can't be. He can't. You can't.
Reese
I don't
Shea-
care if you 20. You can't allow that.
Reese Shea has to play more than 23 minutes. Honestly, Okongwu could have played by 8 more minutes, and Reese Shea could have played by 7 more minutes, and Don Barlow could have sat his ass on the bench. That was really the answer. Us not playing our best athletes lost us this game to a bunch of guys who I think respectfully are just not good basketball players. Cam Johnson in the pip. Pretty good basketball player, but I don't know who Jalen Wilson is. Never heard of him or seen him a day in my life. Nick Claxton, decent guy. I think he's probably a better backup than a starter. Tyrese Martin, 16 points. You know who drafted him? The Atlanta Hawks. You know where he played for us? In the G League. Keon Johnson, who? Trendon Wofford, another Atlanta Hawk G League player. Maxwell Lewis, who? Day'Ron Sharp. Oh, he big as the day is long now. I will say that. He an ox, but he's not a scary basketball player by the stretch of the imagination. And then Reese Beekman. Yo, when Reese Beekman hit that three-pointer, Bob Rathman said, I think he shoots 16% from 3. I was like, oh, Lord.
Bob was sitting there, dog. They went to commercial one time after, and it might have been after Beekman hit the shot. He was just sitting like this, calling the game. Like he was in timeout, pouting, like this is some bullshit.
And I agree,
Bob. This is some bullshit.
And you gotta be happy that your family don't listen to the other people. He is shooting 31% from the field, 2 points, 0.9 rebounds, and 1.3 assists. Reese Beekman from Virginia. You never heard of him and probably never will. But what did he do to Atlanta?
High school coach. I played it. Hey. I played pretty well now against the Hawks. All the lore when he goes back and becomes a high school coach in Virginia.
I still but Tyrese Martin, our G League player, giving us 16.
Motivation. And at a position that we could probably use him. The 2-3 right now.
And he can still shoot it.
The back move viral.
I guess in a little bit more of an uplifting mood, I think that people are finally kind of catching on. One of the Twitter people says it's very funny that Zach Reese Shea was the number 1 pick. He's clearly been the best rookie in the NBA and probably won't win Rookie of the Year. And I took pause for consideration, thought about it, and if you really look at it, it's not even really close. Reese Shea is the only guy other than I think Wells for Memphis that's even playing for a team that's competing. Stephon Castle's playing well, but he's playing well on a team that has packed it in pretty much 2-3 weeks ago. And then Alexander Sarr had a good game a couple games ago, but once again, Washington's not playing for anything. Reese Shea has basically come in, been a starter since week 2 or 3. And I mean, we're the 7th seed in the East. The combination of playing on a competitive team and playing a decent amount of minutes, because he's still on a minutes restriction, I think that he should win Rookie of the Year, but he probably won't.
The comment about Castle, I think Castle gets consideration because I think the Spurs were on pace to make it to the playoffs before Wemby got hurt. So if it sucks to penalize him, but they would have made the playoffs when Wemby wouldn't have got hurt. And then all the same things you're saying about Reese Shea, you would be saying about Castle. I do agree that nobody else is talking about Reese Shea because he's on the team where it's dominated by Trey, and now the trade is dominating the talk. And honestly, he's just not a flashy guy. He just goes out there and does what he's supposed to do. Like he does. He has a lot of flash and athletic plays, but it's almost like he's so mature. His maturity in his game, his maturity in his
he is an adult basketball player.
It plays against him. This is like it kind of plays against him. Like he just goes out and does what he's supposed to do.
He doesn't play a lot of stupid basketball. And rookies notoriously play really stupid basketball. There's not many points where you're like, man, he really just out here looking beat. It just doesn't happen to him a lot. the thing that you kind of wish
after the first month that he started, and he had his first back-to-back as a starter, I think he went like 0-5 or 0-7. But I think we talked about it. I was like, bro, he ain't even scared though. He's still shooting. And then all of a sudden he kept saying if his 3-star shoot falling, and I was like, we were like, bro, because he's so confident and it's not like his shot is way off. Like there's no mechanics, nothing wrong in the mechanics of his shot. Eventually it's gonna fall. And now his shot is starting.
Yeah, nothing looks like nobody looks at his shot like boy, it's raggedy. It's not the Mikal Bridges, it's not any of those notorious, like, bro, why is he shooting? It's just sometimes I think a lot of it is he doesn't have enough strength. Because one thing I will say, and I know the next game just had a flurry of air balls for whatever reason, but I think that sometimes he's shooting it short or he's missing the rim because he just don't have enough lower body strength. But with that being said, what I really would like for him more is just for the rest of the season, attack the basket like a lunatic. This is your opportunity.
He's a monster
to just get out. And anytime that people are starting something or doing something they're unfamiliar with, I always say, hey, man, fuck it up fast. Like, that's what I would like to see from Ricochet for the rest of the season. Just full tilt every time that I think I can beat somebody off the dribble, or I'm still also 6'9", 6'10". If I could just jump over him, try him.
He's legit
trying
6'10".
them.
He's legit 6'10". That's the great thing. When he does get some size and some muscle, because he's a good rebounder too. Like, and he knows how to use his length to basically out jump the opponent. Once he gets some muscle and gets into that year of a weight training program, he's probably a double-double.
I don't even care about your muscle. I want you to, like, when you see the little kids and they're trying to shoot from too far too early, just do it, bro. Just go for it every chance you get, because I think we're pretty safe at where we are. And if we ain't gonna fall to 10. So either way, we're firmly in this play-in. And these last couple games have proven to me that we're not getting out of play-in. So once again, for the rest of the season, do your best to cut your teeth and just try things. That's what I want to see.
15 games, we're 8 out of the 11 spots. So unless we just going 500 would get us into the playoffs.
And the teams below us, they're not trying to get above us. I mean, what else? Well, excuse me, that's not true. The teams that are not in the play-in, they want Cooper Flag. And the teams below us, let's be real, they're not trying the hardest either. Chicago sometime, Toronto sometime, the Heat that fell off. I mean, use this time to do something. Orlando is trying and struggling at trying. They should have got a guard like we told you months and months and months and months ago. So I don't feel bad for them. But if I would like to see Ricochet play more aggressively, specifically if they're going to put you on this minutes restriction, which it seems like. And then finally, while we're to end out the Hawks talk, one of the things that I want to discuss, not really, any media for, is two things. I personally think that what Dyson Daniels has done with steals specifically, deflection specifically, and then the combination of steals and blocks, he's going to be the first guard to, seems to be lead the NBA in steals and blocks since Michael Jeffrey Jordan did it. I don't see how he's not Defensive Player of the Year.
Just like MVP is a quarterback award, Defensive Player of the Year is a big man award. That's why he doesn't win it, if he doesn't win it. Now,
but the gap between him and SGA and the steals is 70 steals.
And that's going to be a good thing for him, because SGA going to win MVP. And SGA is going to win MVP and the scoring title. And they're going to talk about him and the Thunder have 2 of the top 5 players in steals. So whenever they show that graphic, they're going to show, oh my God, SGA. Oh my God, Jalen Williams. Damn, y'all see that person way at the top? He had 200 steals.
Way at the top.
So I think that is actually going to make.
And Lou Dort. Lou Dort got him too. And playing on Lou Dort steal number on the minutes that he plays is crazy. He only playing like 20 minutes.
Yeah, they are. They should win it. But Dyson Daniels definitely deserves Defensive Player of the Year. And I like
Most
how you talked
improved.
about most improved player of the year because his spin into the lane with the floater is damn near unstoppable because he's 6'6", 6'7".
And he's he's especially when Veet was out, he's been our backup point guard. When Trey goes out, the ball goes to Dyson. And
there's been growth there. It's been pains, but it's been growth there. Definitely been growth. His shot needs to come around. He needs a jump shot.
Yes, sure. That's the one thing that and even he's a good distributor now. He makes good passes. The thing that makes Trey elite, and I think I got this from Gilbert Arenas, is Trey is always attacking to score first. I think that Dyson is getting into the lane and he's looking like, all right, I want to collapse the paint so I can pass versus I'm going to go and try to score this. And once the defense collapses, kick out. If he can be a little bit more intentional about just, because he's athletic, but he's also 21 years old, so you gotta pace him. But if he can get that, he really puts himself in a unique position because he's 21 years old and he is an unbelievable defender and a decent, facilitator ball handler.
He's made us win the trade. No shade to DeJounte injury, but even if DeJounte wasn't hurt, defensive player of the year candidate kind of lets you win that trade. And
that was always my thing. He ain't where I think DeJounte probably be closer to about 20 points, but then 15 that he has, he's doing his part. I didn't think that I was going to, because I'm such a big DeJounte fan. I just never thought in a million years that Dyson will be able to be this return. And it makes me look at what team is that now that nobody ever cares about? Yes, the Pelicans. What were y'all doing?
Well, now they made the playoffs, and I think they made the second round. And then everybody's leg fell off. Remember, everybody got hurt. So it's like he didn't have a spot because they had Trey Murphy, they had Jose, is Alvarado? They had him out
Calderon,
there.
Alvarado, whatever you want to call.
All of them. They had all of those players who had kind of solidified their role on that team. Remember, I think he's only in his third year this year. So I
Jose
think
Alvarado you can go Jose Alvarado. Dyson is what Jose Alvarado is. You remember that he's Grand Theft Alvarado. Oh, I steal the ball when people are not paying attention. I'm a pesky defender. Dyson is younger and better.
Yep, they didn't know that. Hindsight is easy to look at when you have a defensive player to your candidate. You look back and say, y'all didn't know when they were in the playoffs. It's like saying to the Clippers, hey, what were y'all doing with Shy? Well, we had Paul.
No. Doc Rivers said, no, I did not want to do this.
Yeah, I'm not saying they didn't. And I'm sure somebody on the Pelicans is like, hey, I don't think we should trade Dyson Daniels. But at the time, you also think DeJounte Murray is going to be DeJounte Murray when you make that trade.
You're right.
So
and potentially they still have the framework for a team if Murray is healthy, Trey Murphy is healthy. You got what you got back for Brandon Ingram. And what Norwood has told y'all since day one, trade Zion. I don't know what you can get back now.
What you can? I would trade him today if I could because he just had 30 something and did all these highlight dunks and all that stuff. Trade him right now. This is as high as the stock is going to be.
And I don't think that the stock is high right now. To be completely honest, I saw Gilbert Arenas talk about he should play the 2, and I was like, oh, I remember when a guy said that a 6'6", 275-pound power forward doesn't make sense.
See, yeah,
I was wrong about Zion.
It's funny you say that. It's a 6'8" center don't work either, right? Like Okongwu, you can play bigger than your stature. Like I think Zion's thing is just he never got in shape. And if he were to ever lose 30 pounds, I think he could be a 6'6" power forward. But the motherfucker just don't like. He like porn and
Yeah.
food. He is in the wrong place to
And,
like porn and food.
and big body bundles. That's what.
He need to send him to Utah, where it's Mormon country, where they don't even.
But that was always my thing. Is his metabolism. Whatever you say about Kungwu, we've also seen Draymond Green do it. The thing with Zion was he was 250 pounds when his metabolism was riding high. I said in 7 years, 5 years, this doesn't work. Your metabolism doesn't speed up as you get older. I actually said, you can ask me and you. Look at us 7 years ago. We were both skinnier then than we are now. Same thing gonna happen with Zion, especially in the home of beignets and gumbo and shrimp
but
that too. So it never made sense to me. And now, Gil talking about moving to the 2. You can't have a 275-pound shooting guard. It don't work.
Okay, everybody's done that on 2K. Everybody's made that type of play on 2K.
You know what? That's what the comments said. Hey man, don't give up my 2K cheat code. But he also just not a knockdown shooter. So I'm gonna step back and let Zion do that all day. I'm just gonna crowd the paint.
Yeah. For the next 3 years, he can use his athleticism to kind of get it, which is what he's doing when he's healthy, is to get around that. But he's gonna have to figure out something pretty soon.
I don't think that he's gonna figure out anything anytime soon. Speaking of people not figuring out anything anytime soon, for the audio listeners,
frustrated right now, down by 9.
This is a back and forth between Josh Hart and Tom Thibodeau. They are pretty feisty in this. They had to be separated. New York is an interesting team to me. And the Philadelphia Eagles have kind of scorned me of looking at teams that I just don't trust and saying that you don't look like something. And then the Eagles proved me wrong. So now I have to look at everybody with another look. But I've said all season about the Knicks. They've won a lot of good games. They've won a lot of games. But when they play against teams that I think that are good teams, they don't look like a good team. And they've kind of been consistent with this. So first you had Josh Hart and Tibbs get into it. You got any thoughts on that?
You said a lot there. They don't play well against good teams. They should have beat Golden State when Josh Hart and Tibbs got into it. If Jalen Brunson's healthy, they probably beat Golden State, especially with the way that Cat played that game. Hart and Tibbs, Mikal and Tibbs, I think it's all true. I think they feel some type of way about playing all these minutes. Mikal does. I think Hart, in the heat of the moment, whatever Tibbs was doing, he was frustrated. And when you play Steph Curry, you're gonna get frustrated. Like, that's what's gonna happen. They both will come out and said,
you playing Steph Curry and you playing Draymond, who is big troll. Him and Cat. It was
and
great.
Like, played the best defensive game of the year.
it was. I like the competition because Draymond is a certified lunatic, and Cat offensively is a machine. He's say what you want to about his toughness, say what you want to about his defense. It's not a lot that you can do with him when he's ready to get a bucket on offense at that size. He damn near unbelievable. And I mean, Draymond, if you look at and Draymond was picking at him. And I mean, I get it. At the end of the day, Draymond's like, I'm a small power forward playing against a tall, athletic, talented center. All I can do is try to get into his head because the physical gifts, I don't got him and he does.
And then you had Jimmy Butler over there. So that was that game. Honestly, I'm proud of a Cat because I mean he tried to carry him. Cat had what? Cat had 29 and 12 with a block and a steal. Like he played on out of his mind, like on 60% shooting. Like he just outside of the four. Was it Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns, Miles McBride, and OG Anunoby? Josh Hart, you got a lot of audacity getting all mad and you owe 7 with no points. Like, maybe if you wanted some more shots or whatever, but I mean, they just didn't have it. They didn't have it. And Steph Curry caught fire. You let Draymond, Mr. Triple Single, hit the game clinching layup. It is what it is. Nothing you could do. It was Steph Curry and the Pips. Nobody else scored 20 points except for him. He scored 28.
And this is what Reggie was talking about earlier. Mikal Bridges said sometimes it's not fun on the body. Our bench guys can come in. We don't need to play 48 minutes. It helps just keeping fresh bodies here. The reason that this is, I listen to this, is Mikal Bridges, for all intents and purposes, is Cal Ripken of the NBA. I think they say he's played like 268 games in a row, 269 games in a row now at this point. He's never missed a game in his entire career. So he's a guy who's doing his best to be healthy, to be present, to be available. For him to be like, hey, man, we need to take some of this off of the starters, which I've always said, I think they put too much into their starting lineup. And I think eventually he or OG probably gets traded because you're going to need some depth, which they don't have.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to y'all Knicks fans who we've been saying this for years now, and y'all keep defending Tibbs. Y'all keep doing it. You come up with the stats to say, oh, Brunson is 15th. Yeah, sure. Whatever. All them, whatever you want to say. Your man himself, Mikal Bridges, your team starting power 3, who y'all begged for to reunite the Villanova 4 before y'all traded Dante DiVincenzo. Y'all decided to reunite him. Yeah, but he's not Villanova 4. So you decided to reunite him. Y'all did all of that. And he came back and said, look, everybody, the rumors are true. Everything they say about me is true. I do not want to play all these minutes. Tibbs is playing us forever. And we don't get to play, and nobody else gets to play. I mean, not right now. They just don't have anybody else to play. PJ Tucker, I don't know what he's gonna do. He ain't really playing.
He's not gonna get on the floor. He's old and not in the rotation, bro. You're never gonna see the court. And I think that
they do get DeLon right back once he gets once he's not ill.
I mean that will be great, but
it's not enough.
You don't get any score. Like their bench doesn't give them any points. They're all defensive tryhards, and I respect that. But there are no buckets on that bench. And in order for you to be able to win, you're going to need buckets from your bench. Cleveland has Ty Jerome and Hunter coming off the bench to cook. Y'all don't have anything for that. You don't have anything. I mean, hell, y'all don't even have nothing for Peyton Pritchard. Let's be real here. Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser probably outshoot y'all off the bench.
Shoot y'all out the game.
I think that the Knicks overinvested in their starting lineup to keep the fans happy. And I think that was a vital mistake, which you're going to have to punt from. And you paid OG a ton of money, but you gave up a ton of draft picks for Mikal Bridges. And I feel like that is going to hurt you in the long run because you're going to need those picks because that's where you can get cheap players and play them for 2 or 3 years until, you have to sign them. I don't know how you're going to get no cheap players now.
Yeah. No, because y'all got nothing for y'all got to ask somebody for Brunson because he's out for a while. That ankle injury looked bad when we saw it when he rolled it. Anytime your whole ankle touched the ground, it's like you're going to be out of while.
They say he's going to be out to early April.
Yeah, we in the playoffs. We ain't even going to worry about that.
Yeah, but I think that aren't they in the fight with Milwaukee?
Nope. They ain't in no fight no more without Brunson. That's why they said he coming back.
No. That's the thing. They got 5 games on Milwaukee, 5 games on the Pacers, 6.5 games on the Pistons. You could really trick this off,
right? You could. No, I don't think so. with 15 games left in the season, I believe that's what's left, right? Somewhere around 15, 20 games.
Depends on when you play last.
Yeah, I mean, now they play the Spurs. They just beat the Heat. They play the Spurs next, who don't have
You can still get it done with what you got.
Yeah, their schedule lends to them. I think if you look at, I'm trying to pull it up. If you look at San Antonio, Charlotte, Washington, Dallas, Clippers scheduled loss, Milwaukee play hard, Portland, Philly, Cleveland, Atlanta, Phoenix, Cleveland, Atlanta, Phoenix, Boston, Detroit, Cleveland, Brooklyn. That month of April. Yeah, y'all better clean up in March. Y'all better clean up these last 7 games in March, because that April looks ugly. But they said Brunson comes back in April though, so you may think to get him back for Detroit.
I don't think that they want to deal with the Pacers in the first round.
I don't think anybody does. Sorry, new Pacers. I was not familiar with your game. I don't think anybody want to play them.
But
Halliburton finally shooting.
I think the Pacers are worst case scenario, because even when Brunson comes back, he's probably not going to come back at 100%. And playing against the Pacers, who play at 150 miles per hour, that is not great for a sore ankle. Let me tell you that right now. So, and that's
the alternative is playing Detroit.
It's a better matchup to me.
They don't want to see
slower. You're playing slower basketball. Pacers play one of the fastest. When your leader has a hurt ankle and your team is short on depth, the last thing you want to play is a team that has a decent amount of depth and plays really fast.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully,
especially as the team who we've seen put 150, 160 points on our own beloved Hawks. I mean, if anybody can tell you about it, it's us. Yeah. One thing that I did want to harp, now that we've talked about Jalen Brunson and his injury, is Mark Williams, since he failed the physical with the Lakers, 31 minutes, 26 points, 16 rebounds, 1 block, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks, 14 points, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 12 points, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks, 12 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, 8 rebounds, 12 points, 1 block, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 10 points, 9 rebounds. If he's hurt or injured, I don't know what injured is or hurt is. It's the same thing I have to ask the Dallas Mavericks about Luka being fat.
There's some finagling going on there. I don't know what made them decide to pull the plug on the trade. The Lakers with him and Jackson Hayes would be a really good 1-2 punch of role-playing centers, kind of like what Dallas did last year. If they would have done that, that would have been a nice. I mean, that might have put you into the conference finals. So I don't know what you decided to do. I don't know why, but also Mark Williams,
I know the answer to this.
Your agent is probably making that happen too.
And this answer was Jackson Hayes' family made a call, and they had one favor that they knew, and it was, hey man, send him back, because Jackson Hayes is on. He's going to get paid because Mark Williams never showed up.
Yep. But Jackson Hayes is good. I mean, they're similar. He's better defensively. Mark Williams is better offensively, and Mark Williams is a better rebounder, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's not.
Mark Williams is a starting center in the NBA. Now, I will say one thing that I did not know when I was doing this research is Mark Williams does not play back-to-backs. You're too young not to play back-to-backs at all.
He been hurt. He didn't play like his whole first year, I don't think.
That is a little problematic, but I will tell you that if you could, they probably need a real center. If you can go get, and they should have the opportunity to probably get, I think Maluk from Duke. If you can go get him, then you can put Mark Williams on the bench, and then him playing back to backs means a lot less, and then you have a hell of a center rotation.
You just read all them stats. You think he gonna go for being put on the bench? You just called him a starting center.
Yes, because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm also a negotiator. Hey, bro, we can't count on you to play back to backs. We're gonna draft this guy. He's gonna start. You'll play less minutes, but you'll be able to play longer. It's the same kind of conversation I believe that we should have with a Kongwu. Bro, you're probably just better off the bench. I don't think that you're tall enough to be a starting center, especially not on this team. But what we can do is you can be an elite backup center for a long time.
Yeah, I hear you. And if I'm a Kongwu, I'm like, well, who you gonna start?
Oh, we're gonna draft a guy, or I'm trading for a guy.
Yeah, well, when that day comes, then you have that conversation. Right now, you have, again, like WNBA, no shade, or that is a shot though. You have no place of power to negotiate that.
Oh yeah. Right now, no.
Giving up on Capella. So therefore, I'm the starting center at 6'8".
And I don't know what's going on with Capella. He got family issues, everything. Like, we still need him. Don Barlow, and I like Don Barlow, but you need to be the end of the
third
bench.
string. Speaking of end of the bench, Mavs don't have one. See what I did there? The Mavs are about to forfeit games because they don't have enough players, because the players that they have on the bench are coming to the end of their two-way contract availability. And everybody else is hurt. So they will go into the games with less than 8 players. Woo!
Poor Klay Thompson. I did not come here for this. I didn't come here for any. I came here to play with Luka. And then y'all pulled the carpet from under me. Then y'all sent me broke man. And then the rest of the team fell apart. And now what you expect me to do? And I'm still like a future Hall of Famer. And I'm trying to get my career back on track. And now, I mean,
go to Milwaukee, Clay. Go to Milwaukee. Just go to Milwaukee. They're gonna try to trade and pay you something. Go to Milwaukee. Let Giannis barrel into the lane, and you just follow the play, catch the ball at the top of the key or in the corner, and hit the 3. That's where you need to go. Milwaukee.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You gotta go somewhere where you can kind of flourish in your role, and that's all you got, big dog. I hate to say it. Milwaukee, damn. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Oh, I do know what else to tell y'all. We got a chance to see the Philadelphia 76ers and the Mavericks play, and I think they say that's the most injured salary game ever. 95.98% of the Philadelphia 76ers salary did not play. We can also update you right now and say that Paul George has been shut down for the rest of the season. So he won't play again. And if I'm Tyrese Maxey, I'm shutting myself down. And I don't care if the NBA fines y'all $100,000. It don't matter. I'm not going out there with no Embiid and no Paul George.
What? Turn into the Mortars are. I don't care what the judge said. This is what we do it. I'm not playing.
I'm not going out there with Ricky Council Jr., Quentin Grimes, and me and trying to win a game.
Don't shake Quentin Grimes now. They may have found Maxey's backcourt running mate. At least to replace Paul.
You can't dump them dead bodies in your trunk. Who gonna take them? Who gonna take Paul George? Who gonna take Embiid? And I love Embiid, but bro,
right in Utah, aka Lake Lanier. Like, go ahead and go right on over there, and you figure it out. Or Portland, or whoever else. LaMelo talking about forcing his way out of Charlotte, even though they're gonna give him $250 million. So I don't know if he'll leave.
LeVar not letting that happen. LeVar is gonna make sure they get that money. Hey, son, you gonna get this money.
New Orleans,
take all them people money that they give you.
Yep. But yeah, it sucks to be a Sixers fan right now. There was something else I saw, but I forgot what it was. I be posting all that stuff because kid be mad. Speaking of kids,
talk about time. Now, this is very interesting
right there.
This is very interesting to me. 4 years, 88 million is what what KC Johnson says is the range for Josh Giddey. I have been on record being very interested in Josh Giddey as a basketball player. You got to be very clear. I think that the Bulls have a logjam at whether you want to call it point guard or facilitator with Kobe White, with Lonzo, with Josh Giddey, and I think they have one more. I think that this would be an opportunity for us to move on from Trey. I would like to do a sign and trade for Lonzo, Josh Giddey, and a first-round pick. Trade to Chicago would bring Chicago something to watch every night, which would be good for them. He's also a Jordan Brand athlete in Chicago. We know how that goes. And for us, Josh Giddey will give us an excellent point guard option. I think that I would be way more comfortable with keeping a Kungwu if we could have Josh Giddey as our facilitator, and specifically if we had Lonzo as our backup point guard.
I don't see that happening, but because I think somebody's going to come and overpay for Josh Giddey personally. I don't think Chicago is going to, if they're going to offer him 88 million, I think, and everybody else getting 50, 60, 88 million, 22 million a year is low. Now, if you're trying to play off all the off the court stuff, then that's your negotiating tactic. But if it were me,
no?
If at 22 million,
no. I'm saying who says no between Atlanta and Chicago for Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball, and a first-round pick for Trae Young?
I don't know if Atlanta would do that. Not for Trae. Trae is leading the league in assists. He's led the league in total assists for the last 3 years. I don't know if they would do that. I'm not saying they wouldn't. I just don't think that they would.
Now, a part of that is you're right, but we also saw DeJounte Murray be a pretty high-level facilitator when Trae missed the last 20 games of last season. The other part is, in order for Trae to be good, you have to have a lot of things. And I feel like, at this point, we've gone through 2 coaches, and I think that, Quinn's not in a place where his seat's not going to get hot by sometime next season. We've traded away everything that we've drafted now. You would assume that you get to a point where you have to make a decision. Maybe this just doesn't work. And I think that Josh Giddey will keep us under the luxury tax. He would allow us to get a more than competent backup point guard, something we really haven't had. And then we can get another draft pick. It's something which we need terribly.
We'll see. But I think Chicago Bulls, they also have a bunch of cap space this year, right? So they could actually build around Giddey too. They could pay him a little bit more than that, and they could overpay him. They could build around him because they don't have to bring all Patrick Williams and all of them, scrub them off the roster now.
Well, but this is the thing. Patrick Williams, terrible decision. Vooch, I think, is an expiring. Buzelis, he's another guy I really like. I think that they got a guy in him. So there's potential there for that team. I like the Bulls team, but I also understand that it's getting stale around there. They're the other team. Like I always say that we're the worst team trying to compete. I don't know if they're trying to compete, but whatever they're doing is worse than us. And that's bad. They seem that
get out of there. Zach Collins, Patrick Williams, probably not going to keep Kobe White.
No, Kobe White's staying for sure. He's a fixture. You don't have a way to replace him. And he's a guy who
all is out of there. One of them, somebody got to go.
No, like just signed Lonzo. Lonzo's on like a $9 million contract. That's the reason I want Lonzo, because he's a steal. Remember, they just signed him back.
So you saying get rid of Giddey and sell high? Because Talon Horton Tucker, Matt Thomas, Trey Jones, Emmanuel Miller, EJ Liddell.
I'm saying for us, Josh Giddey fits what we do. We're just kind of an all-around basketball team. He comes in, and then we can switch everything. Everybody's basically between 6'8" and 6'10". For Trey, you get the city of Chicago, which will love you. You'll be able to sell tickets, and you're a Jordan Brand athlete, and you will have some cap space. You can build a team around Trey Young. I think that it also makes the Bulls more interesting than what they're like right now. There's no interest in the Bulls. Nobody, even Bulls fans, are like, I don't know what this is. But I think the Hawks, if you look at the core of Dyson, Risa Shea, Jalen, and then you could keep Okongwu. Okongwu's biggest issue is why he's small. It's tough to be a small center when you have a minuscule point guard. That's where I think he gets trapped more than anything. The big guys are the big guys, but it puts a lot of pressure on him to be the rim protector at 6'8".
I don't think his role would change having to be the rim protector at 6'8".
Yeah, but he's also not like Trey's getting blown by these guys right now.
I think you got to get
no, but okay, that I do want to move on from Trey because I've come to the conclusion we can't win with him. But we do know that Trey's not stopping at the point of attack. That's the reason we have Dyson. So if once Trey gets beat, the center has to step up to protect the rim. At that point, you're beat. So that's the reason I'm saying Giddey's big enough. You're not just going to do that to a guy who's 6'8". I mean, or we could just be the Bulls and perpetually just keep doing this thing with Trey Young. But I also don't think that we're going to pay him $53 or $55 million a year to do that.
We'll see. We shall see. But I don't think Giddey's going to get 22. I think Giddey's going to get 30 plus. Probably easily.
I'd take 30. That's not bad.
If I'm Giddey, I wouldn't come here. Even if it's I'll go to Orlando.
I'm not. Orlando doesn't. I already thought about that because I was like, oh, well, Wendell Carter can go to, they need a big. He ain't going back to Chicago. And they don't have anything else to give up to get Giddey to Orlando.
Why do they need it? He's a free agent, right?
No. He's still in the contract.
For how long? Because you're talking about a contract extension. That means his contract is going to be up sometime soon. It has to be if you only offering him 88 this year.
That means you got 2 years. You have the restricted year. Yeah, he has a restricted year, and then it has another year. So yeah, 2 years from now. Yeah, I'm not waiting.
Well, then that report is wrong. I'm gonna tell you now, 88 million over 4 years ain't gonna happen for Giddey. Ain't gonna happen.
No, but I would be trying to get out of Chicago. I think that they need to move on from Billy Donovan. Vooch is gonna get out of there, clear house, and start over because there's nothing in Chicago right now of interest, and that's a basketball city.
No, he's under contract. So I mean,
but if you have an asset, you want to. If you're Chicago, you think the trade's better than Josh Giddey.
If you're Orlando, you would give up. If Giddey's as good as you say he is, or you think he is, you would give up a Suggs. You would give up a.
I don't want Suggs. I don't want Suggs back.
Why? You need a guard.
Why would I give up a Suggs when I can get a if it comes down to,
I think Orlando would be more willing, would be more realistic in terms of trading to get Suggs.
If I'm going to take a Suggs, I might as well just hope that Lonzo doesn't fall apart. You don't have enough scoring. That's to me. Yeah, I don't foresee that big. And you also know that Trey is going to be up. If they don't re-sign Trey this summer, then expect him to be traded.
Well, yeah, I mean, those are circumstances. And I'm assuming Atlanta will want more than one. I don't know if you would take Lonzo.
You want to, the ability to, Lonzo's more of the insurance policy. You could play him and Kobe Buffkin together if they could ever be healthy at the same time.
And I say insurance policy for what? They are the insurance policy.
But if you could sign and trade Giddey, we don't want to go over the salary cap. Locking Giddey in at $30-35 million, that goes right into what we're trying to do in the first place.
If it happens, it happens. You have talked yourself into trading Trey for Giddey. So I mean, if it happens, it happens.
Well, I don't think I've talked myself into it. I think the writing is on the wall. I couldn't imagine the Hawks paying Trey $55 million. That's the thing. That at once Luka got traded, I can't see a world where Trey gets the Luka contract.
Why? Look at the Mavericks.
Okay, just don't get Anthony Davis. and hold on, wait. No, I'm not doing that. I was about to end the segment. You almost
slipped me there, man. We back on this segment.
We do not. We have a much better core than the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks core is old. Our core is early 20s.
Dallas was also, I mean, if all of them were healthy, that core, even though they're older, they'd be playing. They'd probably be a 5th seed in the West.
For what, 2 years? It's not a future in that. It was never a future with Anthony Davis going to the Mavericks. I didn't think so. All right. With that being said, we will come back and we will talk foolishness and free agency. We shall return.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is in football. Foolishness and free agency.
We'll be right back. I'm about to go refill my beverage. Y'all make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe. Episode 182 of the Splashcast, Monday Night Raw. Okay, cool.
Nope.
Cool. I guess that was Sandman telling me to shut the hell up. We're going to break. Bye.
Oh, nope. And then go there. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here. We are here for our final segment, the football segment. This is also last call for the people who are drinking. How y'all doing? We are blessed and highly favored. Happy to be here. What you thinking, my big dog?
Oh yeah, I'm read up. Shout out, I am read up. Welcome back to episode 182 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw, the football segment. Got a few things we're gonna talk about today. Start out with football. Start out with college football. UNLV tried to do what Colorado did, but didn't do it well enough. UNLV AD Eric Harper says the athletic department is nearly $31 million in debt, but hopes to raise the money through donations and increase revenue to pay Dan Mullen his salary.
Excuse me, sir, what?
We ain't got it.
Ain't got it. Don't have no way to get it, honestly.
Yeah, you can't do what everybody else does. Dion is Dion. So when the Colorado coach said, look, we gonna figure it out, you knew that Dion was gonna help figure it out. I don't see Dan Mullen in that same era, in that same space as Dion personality wise. I don't know if he can generate all that money.
Yeah, no. He cannot, will not, shall not, shan't not going to do it. This is the Dion tax. If you're Dion, honestly, put some more money on top. Whatever you was charging before, charge more now. Dion made his money back immediately. Dan Mullen and not having people go to college. He's not doing that. And I don't really know what to say other than really nice time for Black excellence. This is problematic. I do have a homeboy frat brother who just recently got assigned to this staff, so it sucks. Surely sucks. I don't know what you do. I also feel like if a black school did this, then it would be fiscally irresponsible. They're blowing their money and not making good financial decisions.
There would be an investigation open to see what is going on with this university that has decided to cash these wolf checks. You're right. You are 100% right. I didn't even think about that. If this was a black university, HBCU,
we can't give them any more state money. They're just doing anything with the money.
Yep. But instead, this is a cry for help from a white school. Double.
But you're in Vegas. Y'all should have DraftKings, King Draft, slot machines, all them rich people, and y'all don't have money.
Y'all got all the legal and illegal money right there. Y'all should make it happen.
And if you don't care. Cry me a river. Be broke. Stay broke. You are broke. Now, speaking of broken in different ways, come on, man. Tell me about your boy Carson Beck. Now that he left Georgia and he's in Miami.
Boy, lost in the sauce. We ain't got the sauce. Sometimes you get lost in the sauce. Words from the great philosophizer known as Gucci Mane. Carson Beck went down there to Miami, got his car, both his and his girlfriend's car broken into or stolen, if I'm not mistaken, within the first week. Then he allegedly broke up with his girlfriend, or his girlfriend their relationship is on the rocks because he was down there in the land of spring break, Spanish milk and honey, and lost his mind or gained some sense, depending on how you look at it.
Now, and that's the reason I have my opinions on this. My thought is, all right, well, first of all, I'm a mid football player at best. I made this, I hit University of Miami for 10 million. So I'm already up. City Boys up. Then the reason I got this 10 million, a lot of it is because my relationship with this young lady who's already at Miami. So I done got my money, and now I'm in Boca Raton with 10 million undeserved dollars on top of whatever I already had. And it's a college relationship, so it's probably gonna work anyway. What about you? Think I'm not gonna dabble in Boca Raton with $10 million in my pocket?
At least not get caught. But if I got $10 million, then I ain't gonna get caught.
Don't care. You think he care?
That's what it really is. I don't care. He saw a girl so fine. He said, "I don't care who sees me. It don't matter who sees me. Smile for the camera."
And then I don't know if you watched the video. She's like, when your friends tell you that he's not the one, then listen. When your sister tells you he's not the one, listen. Oh, he was wild. He got caught up by somebody else. Look, ain't that? Nope.
Bro, you can't go to the land of spring break and just be cool, bro. Bro, it just don't happen. Not as a single $10 million. That is a single 21-year-old millionaire.
Ma'am, you brought your $10 million boyfriend to Boca Raton.
That's irresponsible on your part.
That is a fool. You gonna do what? And everybody and all the girls on campus know that he signed a $10 million deal.
Yeah, because it's out there. Everybody knows.
Duck, they throwing it. That's enough. What am I supposed to do with this?
I'm playing tight end now.
Right. And I play quarterback because I'm throwing deep. Hey, man. What? Man, and I got a national championship. At the end of the day, I still played at Georgia, got a chip. Like, he does have a chip, right? Ooh.
He didn't start.
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
Hey, the rings is the rings, baby. I'll put your rings on. Right. And doesn't he have he had a Lambo. You know the insurance. He got that new car, a couple rings, and $10 million. I'm a problem. Speaking of problems that we just knew was a problem, Bengals tricked us.
Okay.
Bengals
We're starting here. This is where I wanted to start. Okay. Because on our TikTok, the Bengals insiders just made fun of us because I released a clip of part of last week's episode. Make sure you go back and listen. I was like, yo, the Bengals are irresponsible. They're about to pay Jamar Chase, and he's going to get 37 plus million, and they're going to lose T. Higgins and Hendrickson. And the Bengals guy was like, who's going to tell him? I was like, I ain't even going to respond because I'm just going to laugh when T. Higgins gets traded and Hendrickson leaves. Let me tell you who was stupid. Me. They paid Jamar $40 million, 40.25. They paid T 30. And to add that on to it, I thought Trey Hendrickson was going to retire. He threatened to retire before he was getting out of there. Well, now it's been reported they're working on a contract extension for him too. That's going to be $30+ million, which means 60 to 70% of their roster cap is going to go to those 4 players.
This is the reason that you're still stupid, because you could have been paid Jamar Chase. You could have been paid T. Higgins, and you could have paid Trey Hendrickson. Going to the school of Jerry Jones negotiating is only going to land you in the ass-kicking line. You're going now. You paid all of these players. You can't pay anybody else. You got to score 50 points a game, and Trey Hendrickson got to go tackle everybody by himself because you can't afford anybody else.
And you got to hope that Joe Burrow, who's been hurt 2 of the last 3 years now.
Right.
3 of 4, actually, because he hurt his knee his rookie year. 3 of the last 4 years, Joe Burrow has been hurt. Now, the year he stayed healthy, you went to the Super Bowl. Fair. But y'all playing with a little bit of fire now. A little bit. Y'all playing with an inferno, a bomb, a grenade. This could blow up in your face. So
it's not like you have a organization that's really good about putting these things together. Y'all, if you were good, you would have paid them a long time ago. This is the thing. These players have all been on your roster. You could have paid them a long time ago. You're waiting to pay them. It lets me know that you have no plan, no game plan. You have no clue what you're doing. So
even if you
was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Remember that now.
I'm okay with you paying your 2 receivers and Joe Burrow because they want you to. That's your quarterback wants to keep. You made him your franchise quarterback. That's what he wants to keep. I don't understand you negotiating with Trey Hendrickson when you haven't historically protected Joe Burrow. I would rather let Hendrickson walk and take that money and go sign some offensive tackles, go sign some guards, have a tryout at do something because
why did you wait so long to pay them?
Because
that's the thing. You that's the stupid part is you just let everything get more exponentially expensive. You didn't do yourself a favor. You this is Jerry Jones negotiating. Let me wait until I absolutely have to pay this person to pay them because we can't let them walk. And now I can't afford anything else when I could have just paid them when everybody knew I should have paid them.
It's ugly.
No, it ain't. Because what's going to happen is the season going to fall apart. Then people going to they're going to try to rob you blind. It'll be a fire sale. You know it.
It's just they are the epitome of on the line. They are on the line from this whole team falling apart. And they are on the line from maybe accomplishing something great. But it's just they have nothing. They put themselves behind the 8 ball so badly in terms
what
of
line do you think they're closer to?
Falling apart. It's Joe Burrow done broke twice. He done broke. He broke. He threw the ball and laid down on the ground and said, "My wrist don't work no more."
You got to get familiar with the other hand.
Yeah, okay. Then his knee fell off.
There was a joke there. You missed it.
I know I didn't. I did not cross. There's a line that I didn't cross. It was there. I said, you know what? I'm gonna back on up today. I'm gonna leave that one right there.
Now, if you want to see somebody who's doing the right thing, today, Texans, they extend Derek Stingley Jr. Paying people as soon as you identify them to be good is a smart thing to do. They paid him well. Their rebrand has been elite. Going from inmates running the jail to where they are in like 3 years, unbelievable. I don't know of anybody who's done it any better. They signed Stingley to 3 years, $90 million, $89 million guaranteed.
And it allows him to be a free agent at 28 again. And it makes him the highest paid DB in history. Now, this move, and I figured this was going to happen. They were going to re-sign somebody when they traded Laremy Tunsil because you're sacrificing. What you're hoping is that you can get an offensive lineman that is serviceable while keeping your defense intact. That Kamari Lassiter, Derek Stingley Jr. combo at corner, they got something with that.
Petre, don't forget about him.
Yeah, but Kamari Lassiter came in as a rookie and just shut everything down. Like he shut everything down.
And Laremy Tunsil, they traded and basically got a draft back for him. I mean,
yeah, they got like 4 picks. So I mean, they can. If push come to shove, I draft 4 linemen. Like you can get.
Oh, I ain't against it. Anybody go get all defensive linemen.
The Texans, and I think they signed a receiver too as well. from free agency to replace Tank Dell, who's basically going to miss the whole season. So you're probably, unfortunately for Tank, fortunately for the Texans, depending on how you look at it, him getting hurt probably allows a little bit more flexibility for the defense as well. So you trade Tunsil, you're probably not going to pay Tank Dell as much because of the health concerns. It allows this to happen.
Oh boy. And then you look at our little team. What else? Chiefs and Commanders got hit with the tampering charges for trying to sign Ronnie Staley. As big tamper ourselves, we are used to this. I think that this is now just a part of free agency is a little tampering. Can I get you before? But they're both going to be hit. I assume they'll lose draft picks like the Atlanta Falcons.
I am watching. We got 4 draft picks this year. I am watching. Y'all better take a third, a fifth, a 2027. I need it in this, and don't try to stretch it out over 3 drafts. NFL.
What can you say? I want it all.
I want it all. I need for you to make sure you take 3 of them draft picks. If I'm not mistaken, I've been running mock drafts. Washington got like 8 draft picks in 2026, like 8 or 10, something crazy like that. So, hey, take them draft picks. I'm watching, because if y'all don't, I'm saying this whole thing is fixed, and that's going to be my entire saying for the rest of my life until the Falcons win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I don't think Arthur Blank is not going to let them two not pay their penance after he had to pay his. Next up, I'm interested in what you got here. Aaron Rodgers, from what I've read, he is in no rush in typical Aaron Rodgers fashion. He says that he may wait until the draft in order to make his decision. What do you think about this, Reggie?
Y'all, all 32 NFL owners, GMs, and teams and players need to picket sign and picket line outside of Aaron Rodgers' house and say, just stay in the dark. Don't come out here. Don't even open the curtains.
Why?
Don't come out here. We don't care. I don't want it. I'm tired. I don't care about Aaron Rodgers. I don't care that you're gonna wait till the draft. You're not really holding people hostage. Minnesota already told you that they're out. And
right. The teams that he is holding hostage
are the Giants and the Steelers.
Right.
So that's basically it. And if I'm the Giants, I go ahead and I probably go and get a quarterback. I probably go draft a quarterback.
And once you really say it like that, that means the only person he's really holding hostage is Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is in jail by himself. Let's be real. The Giants have no future. Unless, it's
Pittsburgh. He should go to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh
is closest to having playoff success than the Giants are. He doesn't make a ton of difference with New York.
You're right. You're right. But poor Mike Tomlin. That's such a terrible situation.
Tomlin, hey, I love you, bro. I'm all for you. You Hall of Fame, all of that. You did this. You allowed.
Mike Tomlin, it's also time for you to move around too. If anything should be telling, if you should take anything away from this, is you need to be able to go somewhere else and start over, because the Steelers have kind of got you trapped. Their lack of quarterback planning, whatever they did and nope, this is your fault. It's your fault. Because you should have just played Justin Fields the whole season. The Jets are like,
Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. You still, and no shade to Russ, because Russ is still, when he's off schedule, is still one of the better quarterbacks in terms of
he ain't good enough. You saw last year, he ain't good enough.
He ain't really it. He ain't running the offense for real no more. So you did this, and now you stuck with Ron or Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, I think that he's just waiting on wherever he can.
Aaron Rodgers don't go.
Yes, wherever Aaron Rodgers doesn't go, he's just going to be like, okay, I'll go there. Now, Russell Wilson in New York just seems like a train wreck. Like New York media just going to bulldoze him, dog him out. But Aaron Rodgers is different. Aaron Rodgers likes to be the villain. Russell doesn't really like to be the villain. and that team is gonna stink, and the coach is gonna get fired, and the GM is gonna get fired. So you're really just now. If I'm Russ, I won't be paid in cash. I want $100 million in my hand. Because I'm rich already. My wife is Sierra. We got a house full of wonderful children. If you expect me to go to New York, where everybody is for sure going to get fired at the end of the season, put my money in my hand. I just
got paid $190 million in my hand after I got cut from Denver. Whatever he got, 216, whatever that crazy contract was that they decided to pay and take the dead cap from. He's just so money ain't really it. But you know who really? I don't care either way. He Pittsburgh's second choice. Pittsburgh, you screwed. You either gonna get Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. And Minnesota is either gonna. I'm not Minnesota. New York Giants are either gonna go to the draft or get one of them. The Falcons are cool because we gonna wait till everybody get hurt, or we're gonna send them to Cleveland. Kirk Cousins, right. I am more confident that he is out of here, and we don't care about your feelings, MAGA.
Oh. I honestly, I would like to. I don't care about his feelings because if he wanted to go somewhere, all you gotta do is restructure that deal, big dog. If you really you want your money, if you want your money, then you don't get your control. You gotta pick one. If you want to get some money back, no, we will help. Hey, we are the home of Delta Airlines. Where do you want to go? First class. We'll get you there. But you want all your money. You want all your money? Hey, sit your ass on down. Hold his clipboard. And take that damn helmet off. I don't like he had a helmet on all the time. You're not going out there. We are not putting you out there.
Because you lied. You lied, Kirk. You could have said my arm hurt, my shoulder about to fall out of socket. I done fractured something. I don't need to play. But you lied. And you went out there and looked like boo-boo. So now nobody want to trade for you because you went out there and looked like boo-boo. And now you talking about I want to go somewhere and have an opportunity to play. Yeah, cool. But as Arthur Blank said, hey, bro, we doing what's good for the team. You have a sit and then do whatever you want. But you're going to be quiet.
I don't necessarily know if he lied because I feel like there's no way he's hurt as he said that he was and just nobody knows.
Yes, I mean, we knew when we saw him through 4 picks against the Chargers with 2 pick sixes. He couldn't throw a 10-yard out. I was like, bro, Kirk, I ain't the biggest fan, but something ain't right here. Something that ball looked like a dead duck. It flooded. The ball was doing front flips on an out route.
And that's the reason I think the Falcons are holding on to him. Because say what you want to, pre-injury, Kirktober was a good time to be a Falcons fan. How quickly we forgot when November and December hit. But in October, that boy landed on the line.
On to him because it makes no sense to release him. The $10 million through aggregation and all of these other back channel rules with trades in the budget, by the time if they trade him in 2025 when somebody gets hurt or 2026, all you're going to see is Kirk Cousins was traded for such and such draft picks and cash cash. Like that $10 million is going to come off the books. So it made no sense to cut him. We were going to have to pay. You're going to pay $25 million in dead money or $35 million.
And if you trade him versus cutting him, you could probably talk the team into taking some of that money, like in the deal.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna sit here. We're gonna wait for somebody's leg to fall off, and y'all gonna be and you gonna be okay.
Or we're gonna wait for you to draft a quarterback that's not ready, and you have to make a decision. Do I put this guy out here who is not ready, or do I let Kirk Cousins do it until we figure something out?
And I don't know if I said this last week, but I'm gonna say it again. And if you heard it, fast forward 10, 15 seconds. I don't care. All y'all owe Terry Fontenot an apology. Did I say that last week?
I always said that.
Y'all, all y'all analysts, writers who said Terry Fontenot didn't know what he was doing, and the fact that they've mishandled this quarterback situation. Yeah, cool. Y'all are all talking about doing the exact same thing that Terry Fontenot did last year. You're talking about signing bridge quarterbacks to draft these quarterbacks who are not ready. You're talking about signing a veteran and pairing him with pairing him with a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback to learn and grow and allow him to sit the bench. Y'all are talking about doing the same strategy that Terry Fontenot literally just did. So, I mean, if you go criticize him and be loud for it, be loud when y'all talking about taking the strategy that he's doing and implementing it with other teams.
That's the reason I always said I wasn't mad with what Kirk gave us. It wasn't exactly what we wanted, but he helped us. I don't think that people understand how valuable it is just to see a couple wins on the board. Teams will get into situations where they become losers, and it's difficult to get out of that losing ideology. Kirktober, it was great. Now, did it fall off? Yes, it fell off. Sure did. But the confidence it gave Drake London, the time that it gave Michael Penix Jr., the confidence that it gave Bijan Robinson, hell, even it gave Pitts a little bit of time. Had we not been competitive, I think that they would have been head over heels with tossing Pitts. And now I'm going to hit y'all with I'm going to let y'all know everything that's happened in the past, I would say, week. Mike Hughes signed to a 3-year, $18 million deal. Falcons signed Leonard Floyd to $1 million, 1 year, $10 million guaranteed. Mike Ford signed to a 2-year, $4 million contract. Taquan Graham re-signed for another year. Cordero Hodge signed 2 years, $6 million. Ryan Newsel, 1 year, $3.26 million. Re-signed Kyle Hinton. Re-signed Elijah Wilkinson. Re-signed Josh Woods. Re-signed Storm Norton. Re-signed Brandon Parker. Signed Keith Taylor. And then they got defensive lineman Morgan Fox from the Chargers on a 2-year, $8.5 million deal. I believe he'll just be a rotation guy in the defensive line. None of the slam dunks that we were hoping for. I'm not sure if we have the money for the slam dunks, at least until
we had no money. We ain't had no money for slam dunk. And we lost what all these signings tell me. The Kentavious Street, Taquan Graham, the defensive signings, the Mike Hughes. I think we're going to end up using Mike Hughes as our nickelback. And we're going to go get either a safety or a corner a safety and a corner. I think
Mike Hughes over Clark Phillips.
I don't want Mike Hughes to be the second corner. So I don't know what you do with Clark Phillips, but I don't want Mike Hughes to be the right cornerback. I don't think that's his best position. I think his best position is a nickelback, dime back, or a rover safety. I don't think he should be a cornerback, outside corner. I don't think so. But
what do you think we draft?
Signing all these defensive linemen tells me that we're going with the rotation on the D line.
For sure.
Leonard Floyd is going to be on the field pretty much all the time, but Kentavious Street, Taquan Graham, I think the other dude from the Chargers is along with
rotational player
linebackers. Caden Ellis. I think we're just going to end up trying to death by 1,000 cuts defensive line type players. Specific guys run package, race car package. Offensive line, we need backup offensive line. We probably are going to sign a center or draft a center. Neuheisel was undrafted rookie free agent who turned out to be pretty good, but there's a few centers, veteran centers that have been released, especially from New England and Minnesota. So you could get them, but all of this don't matter. These are all the moves you can make until you figure out what you're going to do with Kirk Cousins. Once Kirk Cousins and we can figure out what we get on the books, what we get off the books, if there's any free agents that we could land, depending on the timing of it, I think you'll see more movement. But, hey, we ain't got no money, dog. We ain't got no money. We got to sign the draft picks. That's why I knew we weren't about to do nothing, because we got to sign. Obviously, we about to go for the gusto with these 4 draft picks or 5. Like, probably going to go safety or edge, cornerback or edge, defensive tackle. Those are a safety, cornerback, and D tackle are our first 3 picks. And whatever Malachi Starks, somebody from Georgia, and then 2 other people.
Unless we can get Will Johnson.
I don't think Will Johnson. I haven't seen him fall. After all of these moves, I haven't seen him fall.
But if he's there, you take him.
About the draft, though. This is the first time that in the common draft era that all 32 NFL teams own their own first round pick.
So far.
Yeah, as of
I don't think that comes to fruition here either. Somebody gonna make a move here.
What from what the free agency, from what we've seen, everybody kind of like a lot of teams are just re-signing their own. Ain't that much to trade for. What you gonna trade for?
No, somebody's gonna want. There's not enough quarterbacks. Somebody's gonna move for a quarterback, especially after what happened last year with the Michael Penix Jr. just shutting down basically quarterbacks to the 5th round. Somebody's going to move up and say, Jackson Dart's going to be Michael Penix Jr. the way that I see it.
Oh yeah, probably draft night, but like everybody, there's no okay. So what that means is last year, a lot of times people trade their pick for the next year. Like they traded for Larry Tunsil, got 5. This year's first, next year's first, next year's second, whatever. This is the first draft that none of those trades come into fruition from last year. Everybody starts off the draft this year with their own pick. That hasn't happened in the common draft era, which I was surprised. But I mean, people be moving. What you think about Leonard Floyd before we go?
Solid. It's always kind of the same-ish thing, you know.
He is going to get you 8.5 sacks. He played 10 games. He got 8.5 sacks. He played 13 games. He got 8.5 sacks. He played 17 games. He got 8.5 sacks. He's going to get you 8.5 sacks, which ain't bad.
No.
If Peyton Ellis can get, that means everybody else has got to give us 3. If you can get us 8.5, everybody else.
Please get him in the beginning of the season. We get all our sacks to the end of the season. I'm like, bro, we needed them earlier. But for me, I mean, Calais Campbell, Matthew Judon, we right back here again. It's like, and it's not like the moves. It's like effort. We're like the Ravens. We'll try to get a guy, but we're gonna put in the least amount of effort. Give me DeAndre Hopkins at 30.
We are the defensive end version of the wide receiver Ravens. Right. You are correct. Give me all the old folks at the end, or we're gonna draft somebody. That's okay.
Is he a little over the hill? He probably a little bit more than a little over the hill, but we'll take him. He'll come to Atlanta. He'll like the city.
We'll make this slot receiver, wide receiver 1. He's probably better as a slot receiver. Falcons. We'll take this linebacker and probably blitz him a lot and let him lead the team in sacks. Like, yeah, we're kind of the same thing. There you go, Josh. There you go. I know you'd be mad. Got mad at me today. No matter. Ravens, keep signing them old ass dudes.
I mean,
Sean, DeAndre Hopkins, you're going to have a great 8 to 11 games. And then you're going to fall apart.
I don't think so.
I do. He's still going to get the number. They got to figure out what they're not going to be too bad. They just can't rely on him to be the number 1.
You can't do that. You see, that's something that the Falcons should be able to say. Oh, we're not going to be too bad. Ta-da. When you have an MVP quarterback, we're not going to be too bad. It's not good enough.
Yeah. No, I mean, the second round exit again for sure.
You got anything else we need to close them out with? They have to absolutely, hear from us, know from us, anything.
Daniel Jones signed with the Indianapolis Colts to compete with Anthony Richardson. What are your thoughts on that?
Stupid.
Why? Why is that dumb? Tell me why.
If you think that you have one bad quarterback in Anthony Richardson, 2 bad quarterbacks ain't going to do you no better. Okay.
I just laughed.
Hey, let him pay. Free Anthony Richardson and put Daniel Jones in that spot. one thing
Somebody
that I
said
do,
Anthony Richardson sucks. He sucks.
that's
Hopefully
fine.
he gets better. I hope as a black quarterback he gets better. I think that I quote that. But somebody said no, he sucks. And then kind of proved to be right. That's the only reason I want to
Okay,
bring.
please put Daniel Jones in. And you know what? He's uniquely qualified to stand next to an elite running back and trick it off. So, yeah, I would love to see Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor and what that looks like. But what I can tell you is just call the Giants. They can tell you. Maybe Daniel
Don't call the
Jones.
Giants because they're going to tell you something wrong. Don't call them.
Once you get Daniel Jones, you get the Daniel Jones package. What you should do next, pay Daniel Jones and then trade Jonathan Taylor to a team that's almost ready to play at the Super Bowl. That's what you should do. Maybe send him to the Chiefs. Send him wherever. That's the plan. I love it. And then get on Hard Knocks and tape it so we can all see it for the world. Love that. I love it. There's
Richardson,
nothing.
You should go play tight end, bro. Go play tight end.
Or you could have the running back who's supposed to be a world beater. In fact, be a world beater.
He was good last year.
It's okay.
He had over 1,000 yards.
He's supposed to be bro,
you be champion Shane Steichen all year. And
not great season last year. Hey, when you didn't get it done, you did get it done, big dog. Hey,
bro, Anthony Richardson, bro, you should have stayed in college one more year. But I also understand now that I've listened to all your interviews why you left. Because Dan Mullen was going to ruin you either way. So,
no, not Dan Mullen. No. Your boy. What Dan Mullen? It was Billy Napier.
Him too. But Billy Napier wasn't there when.
Yes, he was.
When Emory Jones was there?
Yes.
They were splitting time? I don't think Billy was there. That was Mullen. That year he threw 3 interceptions? That was Mullen.
No, hold on. It was Trask, then Felipe Franks and Emory, and then it was Anthony Richardson. Those were the quarterbacks. If anybody want to get away from Billy Napier, I don't blame you. Anything to get away from throwing screens.
Yeah, 2021. That was the year Georgia won the championship. Yeah, that was.
Also, let's be real here. Dan Mullen, Mr. I can't coach my way out of an offensive box. Boy, you got bad and worse. You went from coach. My coach doesn't know anything about offense to my coach only believes in throwing wide receiver screens. You're not getting better doing that.
Shout out to Urban Meyer. Dan Mullen, you should send him a 10% tax of every check you get. Because he's the reason you got all of that. And Tim Tebow, maybe 5 and 5.
No. You forgot about McElwain. He was there between.
Yeah, but no. What's it? He was the offensive coordinator for Urban Meyer at Ohio State.
Dan Mullen?
Yeah.
I thought that was Jimmy.
Or Bowling Green. No, 2005 to 2008. Offensive coordinator and QB. He was there with Tebow. That's how he got his job.
That be the issue.
Then he went to Mississippi State and he coached Dak. That's exactly how he got to come back to Florida. He went from Florida coaching Tebow and took that offense and coached Dak. And that's when Dak and Mississippi State were the #1 team in the nation.
UNLV. You ain't got to worry about paying him. By the time that you have to pay him, you're gonna be ready to get rid of him anyway. Let me tell you.
Buy
you
out.
Know what? We don't have any money. And we told you we didn't buy you out, bro. We broke.
We'll be right back to the church for the building fund. Now, y'all know. Right. Instead, we was gonna put it indoors, but we got these windows.
I'm
we
broke,
got this buyout that we gotta buy him out.
I ain't got no money.
They gotta buy him out, dog. But no, that's it, man. It's interesting in Indianapolis how just 2 years ago Shane Steichen was the bee's knees. Anthony Richardson was going to be the guy, and now they are talking.
Who else in the AFC South besides Tennessee?
Houston, Jacksonville, and Tennessee. Jacksonville, Tennessee, and Who were we just talking about?
The Colts.
And the Colts. They're the West. Yeah, the Colts.
Yeah. So this is a make or break season for them, but I will say that you're kind of in the position to make it. I think that you look
Houston. You could upset them.
I don't think that you ain't gonna do that. But that's fine. You don't have to. What you could do is you could just be better than the Titans and be better than the Jaguars, and they probably won't fire you for that. The Jaguars are going to be terrible.
If you like the NFC, that's like saying that to Raheem Morris this year, right? If he's not good, if he's the second best person in the division, but the division sucks, right? And you're not over 500, then yeah, you are on the chopping.
But I guess for me, Houston Texans, they had a sophomore slump, but they're a good team. We all agree that's a good team at every level, pretty much. You're not saying that about the Bucks.
Yeah, you are. We just discounted the Bucks. The Bucks.
I mean, they drafted well. That Bucky Irvin draft.
Who else drafted well? Houston. Like, what you talking about? Like they brought back Chris Godwin, like on a reasonable deal. Like the Bucks actually are kind of built. Now they're gonna have to do something in the draft this year. They have to. Levante Davis coming back. I think they got all their vets: the Mike Evans, the Levante Davis. They got all the yeah, 3 years, $66 million. He turned down money. New England offered him more.
Right,
but
either boy, that's gonna get you sent.
I stay right here with Baker and Mike. Nope, I'm in sunny Florida.
Right? No, you think I'm gonna go up there where it's ghetto with no quarterback? I'm comfortable here. My family, these kids already in school down here and everything. I'm not finna move my family to Boston to deal with
Miami fixing my ankle.
I'm not going up there to deal with that racism in cold weather. I'm good.
Yeah. So I mean, and they have a good draft. They're projected to either get Michael Williams or Jalen Walker. And if Jalen Walker gets to Tampa Bay and learns from Levante David, that's going to be 10 years of more hell. Levante David has been hell for us for 14 years.
The other part is Todd Bowles coaching his ass off. What he was able to do, what he was able to do without Mike Evans and Godwin for a large part of the season, he was out there. It was Baker and Cade Otton giving us everything that we could handle.
Work
and Kirk. And Kirk playing the best football he's ever played his entire life.
They're gonna be scary next year. Now I think about it, because they found Bucky Irvin in that the other running back.
Draft
at running back. They get Joe Tryon back at defensive end, who I wanted us to draft. They got Antoine Winfield locked in. They do. I think they need corner help, if I'm not mistaken. They need corner help, but everything else, I mean, they ain't too far off now.
No. You're right. That's gonna be. I'm identifying the places where I want to watch. I've already identified that JJ McCarthy is my new Trevor Lawrence this year. We're gonna watch him every game.
JJ McCarthy didn't even deserve to be in Trevor Lawrence airspace. I guess he won a national championship, so he does. But he's never been good to me. He never been good.
I don't think so either. But he's going to have to run that ship and you got weapons, and the weapons have expectations.
Well, yeah, you got the best core. You got the best receiver or the second best receiver, and you got 2 top 10 receivers or top 15 receivers. I don't know about 10. Top 15 for sure. And
we saw what Sam Darnold did with these guys.
Sam Darnold been bad his whole career. And he went up there and threw for 4,500.
Looked like a world beater. So
and the offense and I talked about it with Sam Darnold, he ain't throw for 300 yards more. So the offense is gonna be catered to short passes. All you got to do is just read it and throw it. And you got great defense and Brian Flores up there. And they signed they got Jonathan Allen at D tackle. JJ.
Still got Grenard. Grenard. They're going to be solid. But JJ McCarthy, The heat is on, big dog.
Or it's not. Just be you in Michigan. Just be Michigan. This where you are. Just
No. Don't listen to Reggie. Michigan, you threw for 2,500 yards. That's the most you had in the season. But I'm gonna tell you, that will get you fired. That will get you unemployed. That will get you the hell out of Minnesota. Because I'm gonna tell you, if I'm Jordan Addison, if he ain't cutting the mustard, I want out. I gotta go get paid somewhere. And it ain't me, it's him.
Minnesota, might I offer you in what we call a double back? We will give you Kirk. We'll pay a little bit of the salary. Just give us Dallas Austin back. Y'all got Grenard. No, I mean Dallas Turner. Dallas Austin is a producer. Give us Dallas Turner back. Y'all got Van Ginkel. Y'all got Grenard. Y'all have a good old time with them. Grenard's nice. Shut me up. He made that trade with Daniel Hunter. Just a full equal.
I told you. I said, hey,
zero.
Man,
null and void.
Is a monster.
Go ahead and send us Dallas Turner. We'll give you Kirk, some money. Y'all signed Harrison, whatever his name is, for
Barnes
his
Smith
16th year.
Yeah, Harrison. If your name is Harrison, you're gonna play in that sport a long time. Because I was like, Harrison Smith, he ain't retired yet. Yeah. Harrison Barnes still stealing from the Spurs too, boy. If it's money to be stolen, find them. Hey, find somebody named Harrison. They get into that money quietly.
Yeah, JJ. Hey, Minnesota, might I offer you, and a guy you're familiar with, who knows the offense, who likes to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson, who likes to wear the chains, who loves to live in MAGA country. Let me tell you, his name is Kirk.
Yeah. And I mean, other than the fact I just don't think that they will take him back, he's the perfect guy to go back there.
Minnesota would love to have Kirk back right now.
Other than, I don't know if McCarthy could come back after that. The comeback, Kirk?
No. I'm not about to sit here for two quarterbacks to get paid and have success with the y'all draft me, and they're getting. If I'm JJ McCarthy, the only reason Sam Darnold is good is because he's throwing to Justin Jefferson, and he had the head coach as the offensive coordinator.
Hey, now I'm gonna tell you, Sam Darnold, we finna see who you are too. Now you got
know who you are, bro.
You got Njigba and you got Cooper Kupp.
Ta-da! You about to be out there looking sad, boy. Let me tell you,
they
ain't got no O-line.
And I think Njigba is good. I think that Cooper Kupp is probably over the hill, and I don't think you're gonna be calling Sean McVay play calling, so it should be interesting.
T's and P's to Njigba, bro. My man went to sleep and he was good. Woke up, everybody was out.
What the?
Everybody left. They requested a trade. They cut Tyler Lockett. They traded Geno. I was like, dog. Jigba woke up like, it's only me, Will Smith, at the end of Fresh Prince. That's me. It's just me out here. They said, no, we got Sam Darnold. What? It was him and Mike Bobo's son. You know he mid. His daddy mid. You know he mid.
Yo, calling another human mid because your father is mid is both appropriate and disrespectful.
You was a punk because your daddy bitch ass like Boosie. I was like, damn, Boosie.
I think that me and Reggie have covered all the bases of sports.
Told y'all not to let me drink. I tell you,
no pun intended. We have had a ball tonight. Brother Davis, you got anything else before I close this out?
Man, y'all pray for me during potty training, bro. Please pray.
You got this, bro.
No, I don't. I'm a 2-year-old's whipping boy. Whatever she want me to do, I have to do.
Good. And get one of them green machines, them Bissell green machines. I heard those is great for cleaning up carpet and stuff. I got one here, so you know.
Candace already got it. Candace already got that.
Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I think we've covered everything. Foolishness and free agency. We've covered it. Pray for our Atlanta Hawks. Pray that the Atlanta Braves stay healthy. Pray that the Atlanta Falcons can find some money. With that being said, number one, more black baseball. Number two, more black cowboys and cowgirls. And if y'all at the rodeo, y'all need to act like y'all got some sense. Y'all out there drunk at the rodeo. I'm talking about, and I send them right to my friends so they can laugh. People stumbling, barely holding on, or fighting. Let me
tell you what I just saw. I saw the porta potty door open, and 2 people were in there. I said, in the porta potty at a rodeo? That is filth. That is just utter filth.
They had the police out there.
The police was like,
hey, come on out. Hey, they said you can either come out or y'all both going to jail.
She said, nope, not gonna do it.
With that said, number three, by far the most important historically black college university you went to, your cousin went to, your auntie, your uncle, the person who used to laugh and kiki in the back of church. Send some money over there. Y'all see what they're doing in diversity, inclusion, and black people in general. Support us. Historically black college.
Y'all out there doing nasty stuff in a porta potty. How could you do that with the smell? Like, and y'all telling us we ain't qualified?
Cool. And you got UNLV tricking off their money. They buying stuff you can't even afford.
People, man, don't get me started, bro.
The historically black college university in your neighborhood, the one you go for homecoming, step shows, vibes, just to be around your people, send some money over there. And then finally, the historically black college that means the most to me and Reggie, the greatest learning institution on the entire planet, the Hampton University. All we're doing is asking for $18.68 on behalf of the year that the university was founded.
My bad, I burped.
Thank you guys for rocking with us tonight. Without you guys, none of this will be possible.
Are you doing something? Are you saying something?
Yes. Outside this, yes. Adios, mi amigos. God is love. Until we see y'all again, y'all be safe. And do. Thank you guys for rocking with us again. We out.
5:47.